Good morning and welcome to JewelleryMaker. This morning I am very excited because I'm joined by my good friend Mark Smith.
Good morning.
How are you, sir? You okay?
I'm very well, I'm very well. You know, you get those mornings when you arrive at work.
Yes. And
we don't really call it work, do we? Because we have such a nice time here. And we work with such an amazing bunch of people.
That's true.
And you suddenly realise what we've got coming up. And I think today we have got the kit to end all kits. Am I allowed to give a little sneaky? We have got a 10 strand, double strand, so in effect 20 strand kit coming up. I don't think I've ever had such a big kit. So big in fact that it took me 2 whole days to make. So that's what we've got coming up this morning. I am so excited.
There you go then. I'll see you later. No, you're quite right. It is one of the most exciting kits I've ever seen.
It's phenomenal. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Shock horror when I received it at home, but
yes,
you get in the zone.
I can understand the parallels between the stress of
that's right, yeah.
the scope of all of these nuggets looking at you.
But we're not just talking about ordinary nuggets either. I mean, we've got some really high-end.
There's some sizable ones.
We've got emerald, garnet, aquamarine, opal.
Ticking every box for this kit. Do we know what time this kit will be coming on air, Dee? Oh really? We're going to be having it early. Yeah. It's only half an hour away. We're going to be launching one of the most exciting kits we've ever brought you here at JewelleryMaker. You can see Mark's excitement. He's got chills. They're multiplying.
And I'm losing control.
Yeah, he is. He's literally losing control. And I came up with a great text topic. Can I do it, Dee? Okay, based on the fact that they announced the winner of the best joke at the Fringe this morning. Do you want to hear it? Are you ready? Okay. It was Tim Vine who cracked it. It's, I got rid of my Hoover. I threw it away. Well, it was just collecting dust. Yeah, it's a fantastic joke. So I was thinking, text in your jokes. You can't do better than that.
I think there should be really awful Christmas cracker type jokes.
Ooh, okay. Why don't we tweak it slightly?
Yes.
Text in your worst jokes.
Yeah.
That's good. That's better, isn't it? Tim Vine is a little bit like somebody who can make a Christmas cracker joke really funny, isn't he?
And do you know Jeremy Vine is his brother?
Yes. Yeah. So there you go. Pretty talented family then, really. Yeah. Jeremy Vine and Tim Vine. Anywho, we're not actually here to discuss comedy, as much as I'd enjoy that. We are here to create beautiful jewellery and give you the best deals on the market for genuine gemstones and of course your essential findings. We're going to launch this morning's show with a very exciting opportunity. Now, whenever I think of this particular mineral, I think pearls is naturally associated with sophistication and high-end jewellery design. Possibly maybe vintage designs you might associate pearls with, particularly the keshi pearls. I think the keshi pearls add so much texture to your designs, and they do have that organic finish to them. You still get that high-end pearl essence that you'd associate with a more traditional round pearl, but instead you've got these variations that actually I think make them even more suitable for jewellery design. They give you more creative opportunities. I always think of them as almost being leaf shaped, so they'd be perfect for maybe your tiara designs if you're creating a torque necklace. And on this occasion you've got this beautifully feminine colour tone. This peach tone is actually almost like a champagne colour when you do catch the light on the surface of a gemstone. Because you've got these imperfections on the surface of the gemstone, it almost catches the light and allows that pearl essence to come through. Now, we've been talking a lot about pearls recently because, of course, there have been new sanctions placed upon. They've seen a 40% decrease in the production of cultured pearls, and these days around about 90%, or maybe more than 90% of all pearls are cultured pearls. And so, inevitably, we are expecting to see, there you go, so yes, 40% down on the year previously. And so we are expecting to see an increase in the price, not just here at JewelleryMaker, we're expecting this to be an industry-wide increase in the price points that you're going to see on your cultured pearls. And of course we know how popular they are, especially for bespoke jewellery designs. To be honest, I have done a little bit of research. I've been looking around, and the price of pearl jewellery is, well, astronomical. Sometimes you're talking 3, maybe even 4-figure sums for cultured pearl jewellery, and we're not necessarily talking about perfect rounds. On a lot of occasions in the bespoke jewellery designs online, I mean, or in the boutique windows, you'll see that they're working with similar pearls to the ones that we offer you here at JewelleryMaker. There's not a great deal of difference in the finish often. And I suppose there are other suppliers out there, but I can't find any that can compete with the prices that we bring you here at JewelleryMaker. Of course, one of the reasons the pearls are so popular is because people do usually start to turn their hobby into a small business off the back of a bridal commission. I mean, how perfect would these be for a bride, or maybe, you know, the bridal party? So I'm thinking the flower girls. You can make little 5-petal flowers actually out of these pearls.
The last bridal fair I was at, I met a lady who she's quite well known in Witney and Oxford, Cotswold area for her wedding jewellery, and she charges £1 per pearl, whatever she makes.
Right.
So that's quite interesting. Yeah.
Because a lot of the times, jewellery makers who are just starting on their journey of selling their designs do struggle with the idea of coming up with a reasonable way to price their jewellery designs. Well, there's some very experienced jewellery designers already coming through, both on the free phone number and at jewellerymaker.com. People multi-buying this strand already. That's because on the web they can already see our early bird price for this beautiful strand of peach keshi pearls, and here it comes. Boom. £10 for your peach keshi pearls. They are 9 by 7 mil in size, although that is an approximation because, as you can see, there are irregularities both in the shape and size, so a millimetre here and there I would guess in variations. But yeah, £10, that's amazing. And of course, we're not 100% sure what kind of rise in price we might experience on our cultured pearls moving forward. So it could be that in 12 months' time, we're unable to bring you these kind of pearls for that price point. This is our early bird this morning. Great way to get your order up and running. And it's not just to do with the mineral you're working with on this occasion. I think it's also the colour tone. It's adding a real elegance and opulence to your designs, actually. How would you use this, Mark? Because now that I've said it, all I can think is 5 pearls on a little flower on a hair comb.
Yeah, that's all you'd need, isn't it? Absolutely, that's all you would need. And they're top drilled as well, aren't they? So
they are indeed.
You could do the tiara twist and that sort of thing. So they're very, very, very easy to use, actually. I just love the colour, like you. It's a really nice colour, isn't it?
It's beautiful because there's something quite high end about it, but also very feminine. So it's ticking a number of boxes.
No, they're beautiful.
For different designers. Of course, it depends what kind of designs you like to work with, but of course we know that pearls are perfect for a number of different genres of jewellery making, whether it is, you know, the top end of gaining personal bridal commissions, which I actually think is a real honour to get a bridal commission, because, you know, you are actually going to be part of somebody's big day, aren't you?
It's quite a responsibility.
I saw
actually.
A little, was that a little nervous grin there, Mark?
Well, I've only had a couple. I don't actually look for bridal work because it is that whole responsibility and the stress involved with it. But it's definitely something that I'd like to get into even more.
I suppose it is something that does lend itself to a more personal experience, if you like. So you can meet your client, you can let them help to design the piece, and if you're working with genuine cultured pearls, then they're going to know that you're able to source the real deal. And I think it gives you credibility as a jewellery maker if you are working with genuine gemstones. Of course, that's something that we focus on at our company. We're part of the Genuine Gemstone Company, and that actually allows us to go direct to the gemstone suppliers, in this case the guys that actually cultivate the pearls. Therefore we can negotiate the most competitive prices on the market. We pass those savings on to you. I think that's evident from our early bird genuine keshi bells for £10. We have had a text in from Jan. Don't hesitate to interact with the show today because I'm doing 8 hours of live TV presenting. So anything you want to do to lighten the load, that's much appreciated. Jan's got involved. She's texted in to say, "Hi guys, what about an elephant joke? How does an elephant get down from a tree? Sits on a leaf and waits for autumn." Yeah. Yeah. You could have a great future in writing Christmas cracker jokes, Jan. Who knows? Here's another one. I like it. You see, our audience, they never let us down, Matt. They never let us down. They had about 2 minutes to think about this. Christine's texted in. It says, "Hi guys, up early this morning, so I decided to log on and had to buy these. Got similar white ones the other day and they are absolutely stunning." Christine's not joking around. She's fallen in love with the pearls just like the rest of us. Fantastic. I'm glad to see everybody getting involved bright and early. Actually, do you know what? I'm thinking that quite a few people are going to be on annual leave and what have you with their kids off school. So I want to hear kids' jokes as well. Get them texted in. Oh, and Tinkerdale has texted one in. This is a regular contributor to the show, so Della, thank you for getting involved. It says, "What's sweet, sticky, and goes swinging through the jungle?" Tarzipan. Quite good. I think you might have been getting your Christmas crackers out of like M&S or Waitrose. That's a bit good. Here we go. Another web comment. Oh, it's come from Sally. So it says, "Whoa, 2 men together. Wow. A treat for a Tuesday morning. 2 hunks on one JewelleryMaker set."
I wouldn't go that far.
Okay, 1 hunk. And I'm here as well. There you go. You like that?
No, it should have been the other way around.
Okay, lots of people getting involved with that. If you have got them placed in your basket, please make sure you check out to avoid disappointment. And now it's time to challenge Mark. Now I saw Mark having a little rifle.
This is product. Not a challenge, I tell you. This is not a challenge.
Is it just a treat?
A massive treat for me this morning.
So yes. Are you using all 3 pyrites?
Yes.
Oh wow, I know about this deal. Can I just tell everybody? Yeah, it's 3 for the price of 2. Buy 2, get 1 free.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, absolutely gorgeous colour tones. Got an amethyst purple almost here. I would definitely match that up. In fact, we've got a brand new strand of amethyst coming up later in the show. Very, very high end, faceted top drilled droplets. I mean, look at those together. I love that. And you can use these to make your amethyst go a little bit further. We were talking about pyrite quite a lot last night. We launched a strand as our superstar buy, which was very, very popular. And actually it was a mixture of these 3 colour tones on one strand actually that we did last night.
Wow.
But this morning you're going to get a full strand of all 3 colour tones because you've got, this is a sort of green gold. This so I think with your pyrites, the beauty of it is that they could be used as spacer beads. They could be used to replace the very expensive precious metals that you might rely on usually to give you that metallic shimmer in your designs. Pyrite will provide you with that, and of course it's not quite as expensive as a precious metal, but it's still a genuine gemstone. So can't go wrong if you're working with pyrite. There's something quite elaborate going on over there, Matt, with your pyrite challenge.
I know.
He's got all of the bobbins going, look.
Yeah.
He's not messing around today.
This is why it's not a challenge. I'm in my element this morning.
You're having fun.
Yes.
That's what you want, isn't it? Now, hold on a second. These seem pretty lengthy. Are these 30 centimetres? Sorry, did I just whip that straight out of shot? Sorry, guys. Yeah, so these are... Oh, they're 36 centimetres. There you go.
Massive. Massive.
Huge amount of gemstones on here. Actually, you're getting over 1 metre of pyrite, that means, doesn't it? That's amazing. How many gemstone suppliers provide you with these kind of carat weights in metre lengths. It just sounds ridiculous, doesn't it? You've got over 60 carats on each strand here. Gorgeous colour tones because there's a slight variation on a traditional colour on each of them. So this is
amazing.
A slight derivation from your amethyst purple, slightly different to your traditional golden tones because there's a slight green hue on this one, and then you've got this sort of dusky pink tone or a sort of plum colour. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, plum. I like that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So there's a slight variation on quite traditional gemstone colours here, which I think works really well because you're probably going to use your pyrite as an accent gemstone traditionally anyway, and so because it lends itself to providing you with a slight contrast, I suppose, I think these are going to be really, really useful. I'm thinking this with your amethyst, maybe this with a bit of peridot. This one will work with a lot of the feminine gemstones. Okay, so this isn't all you're going to be working with in your challenge, I hear.
That's right.
Although I have to say, by the time we get to see Mark's jewellery, there's every chance this pyrite trio could have sold out. It is a pretty traditional deal, really. 3 for the price of 2. Just like you'd see in the supermarkets. $13.90 this morning, but that is a huge for that price point. So normally you'd have to pay over £20, but this morning, take advantage of producer Dee's generosity. She's responsible for putting all of these products together and giving you these ridiculous price points this morning. As I say, we are part of the Genuine Gemstone Company. That's what allows us to work in this unique way and provide you with this kind of value. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to go anywhere near these price points. In fact, you know, it's quite funny because we were talking about this recently, and it did lead to the lads on the Lake Show calling me Uncle Albert, because I kept sort of comparing what we do now to what we did when we first started JewelleryMaker. I was saying, oh, I remember when none of these strands went under $9.95. Oh, I remember when, and they were saying, oh yeah, during the war, Ed. So that was the criticism. But you know what? It is quite interesting. Now you're starting up. My director, Ollie, saying, I remember when there was no such thing as coloured pyrite on the channel, which is true. We only used to bring you the traditional variety, which is normally found in a golden tone, a sort of antique gold, and of course it has been mistaken for that precious metal many times. That there is, in fact, its nickname is fool's gold. So yes, traditionally we bring you it in gold, and actually it's funny you say that because when we first started to launch the coated pyrites, it was around about the time when I was actually confused by it. So coming from a traditional jewellery background, because I used to work for our sister channel Gems TV, I was always thinking, why would anybody want pyrite that wasn't gold? Because it's called fool's gold, but I wasn't thinking of like a designer. These days I'm much more of a fashionista, Mark. I understand. I understand the potential for a coated pyrite.
What I'm seeing a lot of on Facebook when I'm desperate to learn, if I had more time, this is one of the next things I've learned to do. And it actually features on Laura Binding's first wirework DVD, and that's gemstone trees. The little pendants. The
Tree of Lives.
The Tree of Lives, that's what I meant. Yeah, I think these will look just incredible.
Oh, do you know what? Well, I think one of the reasons you might be seeing a huge impact, we were talking about them with great length on the Late Show, and I asked people to put them on Facebook because Sam was just starting to make Tree of Life, you see, our tech up on the Late Show. So I see loads of them. Yeah. What we were trying to do as well was to create a volcano of life the other day.
I like that idea as well.
So we use Smoky quartz and Mexican fire opal. Well, I say we, the royal we. Sam's doing all the work, I'm just talking about it, as usual. What was that, sorry? Oh yes, and last Sunday, when I presented the show with Linda, she did a Tree of Life that was caught in a gust of wind. And it gave great dynamic to the piece, actually. She just was inspired by looking out the window, there was a storm. And the tree was getting flung around, if you like. So yeah, so she used that in her design. That looked fantastic, actually. So yes, $13.90. Buy 2, get 1 free. And are we going to be launching the other half of Mark's challenge right now? We are, okay. Unfortunately, I don't think there's going to be enough of these to go round. The Pyrite's a pretty impressive deal, but this is such a significant look. In fact, I'm going to bring that purple Pyrite back in here, and the Amethyst we're going to be launching later in the show. Well, that's a pretty cohesive design already.
Kit, wouldn't it? That'd be an amazing kit.
Oh, that's a great kit. That's a good point. Oh, make note. Write it down, guys. It would, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
It's got to have gold-plated findings, because I like purple and gold together. Yeah. Oh yeah, rose got to work because
beautifully.
The Pyrite's a little more muted. Anywho, that's not actually a bundle. I'm just playing now, aren't I? Come on, Ed. Focus.
You got your holiday hat on, haven't you?
Maybe my holiday starts at 9 PM this evening. Who knows? Now, these are fantastic. We're used to seeing the floral carvings, but normally they're quite generic. Look at the amount of detailing you've got on these. It's like a work of art. Director literally just stole my thoughts out of it. I was just about to say they look almost quite Eastern inspired. They have almost like a Japanese art feel to them.
Like a blossom.
Yes, absolutely. Or alternatively, you could go in the complete other direction and think, oh, they look like quite quaint little pansies as well.
Violas.
Yes, I suppose. Yes. There you go. Mark should know. He's a horticulturist. There we go. These are 18mm in size, so they're quite a significant look. Actually, they're going to make a huge impact on your design, but because of that quite subtle colour tone, I don't think that they're going to be overpowering any of your gemstones. There's something quite subtle about them, really. They're just in their own business. No character and personality.
Well, I don't know how long.
Her and therefore being cut into vision. There she is. And we've got another text message from Della. Thanks for joining us this morning. It says, ooh, they are lush. The colour is wow. Well, if Laura Binding was here, I think that she would not only concur with you, but I think she'd go as far as to say they're girt lush. That's what she said the last time I was on the show.
We're not showing the price yet.
No,
didn't
yet. Over half the stock's already been allocated. They are proving to be very, very popular. In fact, funny you say that, because Dion just said, Mark's right, let's get the price on.
Oh my God, for both?
Yes, it's a double trouble deal. You don't just get one.
I keep forgetting it's Dion today.
It's Dion's day, and this is very close to blue on the colour spectrum, isn't it? So there we go.
Oh my word. Gosh.
Now the reason we say that, we should just explain, in case you are a new buyer and you haven't tuned into the show before today, basically the producers can be very competitive, and normally you'd think with people who are responsible for sales and pricing, they'd be competitive in terms of selling at the highest price. That's not how they roll here at JewelleryMaker. It's who can get the lowest price on screen, basically. That's what it is. That's what it is. I think Ollie stumbled across the reason.
What's that?
They're egomaniacs. They want the audience to love them. So they keep going lower and lower. It's interesting, actually, because once again, I'm going to have to make a reference to the good old days here on JewelleryMaker, as it were. But basically, what I was going to say is, it's quite interesting because despite the fact that the quality of the gemstone strands is continually improving, the prices don't seem to rise much.
No, you're right, actually.
Because I think we've always been able to source shell, but now, I mean, the consistency of colour, the detailing is much more. There's much more attention to detail, even on a strand of shell, for example. Yet it's just £4.50 a strand as part of this bundle.
So the reason I chose this and the last 3 strands as my challenge was I've separated the 3 colours. I'm doing a Kumihimo beaded braid with the pink and the blue, and then the green, if you bring that across to add to those. I just think that's the most amazing colour combination.
I love green and purple. It's my favourite colour combination.
I just think it's stunning. It's just made for those 2. So I'm going to bring in a bit of chartreuse wire as well, because I think that would work really well.
That'll bring it all together, won't it? Yeah, fantastic. So yeah, oh yeah, because then you've got the stems.
So now can you see why it's not really a challenge?
Yes, it's not a challenge in the slightest, is it? 3 of the most beautiful strands of pyrite we've ever been able to bring you as a deal of 3 for 2. Yeah. And then a double trouble deal, bring you both these strands for £8.95. That's going to be a sellout, I'm afraid. We only have a handful remaining in stock, and we do have a queue on the phone lines. We're going to move on. Yes. Oh my word. These are fantastic. In fact, they go quite beautifully with those purple flowers. Very, very organic variety here of one of the big 4. Beautiful pink sapphires. You could, I think, probably argue that this is actually rough cut ruby. You're definitely getting a red hue. I think these might have received a coating, and that's why they have this sort of waxy luster to them, because it's not it's quite a smooth finish, yet quite a textured, organic. Apologies. They do have a very interesting finish to them then, because if they were tumbled in this way, you'd expect them to almost feel a little roughed to the touch, but they don't. Feel really sort of smooth or polished, yeah. So it must be an alternative polishing technique that's been used if they haven't received any coating. So that's quite interesting. What I was going to say is that for the most part, you do get those gorgeous coming through, as you can see on that recording, but on some you do have a richer saturation of colour, more of a red tone coming through. So I would argue that those are actually rubies rather than pink sapphires. Of course, ruby is just a colour classification of sapphire itself. They're both the same gemstone, so they're actually known as corundum is the chemical composition of the gemstone, and the gemstone names is sapphire, and if you get a red variety it's known as a ruby. These are pretty much a sort of cherry red across the gemstone. There are some that provide you with more of that pink hue coming through, but these are very, very organic. Again, I suppose you could get away with using these as petals because they're top drilled, but it would create a very organic look. But really what you've got here is one of the big 4. Actually, you could argue you've got 2 of the big 4 on one strand here, so it could be one for all the collectors out there. Although I think when you see a gemstone that offers you this many different opportunities and this much potential in terms of the organic cut and the irregularity of the size and the shapes, I think these are going to be perfect for a number of different designs. 85 carats of pink sapphire available on this strand. The nuggets range in size from 6x3 to 13x5. Very, very organic offering, but very high-end and prestigious gemstone. The price point's ridiculous. We're going to take this to an exclusive launch price this morning. This is going to be your best opportunity to get involved with this particular deal. Stone for $7.95. Can't say fairer than that, can we? Unbelievable. Now this has been sourced by our Indian buying office. We do have buying offices all across the globe these days, and that of course allows us to negotiate the best possible prices and to source the most interesting gemstones available. Here we've got your rough cut organic examples of pink sapphire, which is of course next month's birthday. If you know anybody, maybe you've got a friend or a loved one who actually has their birthday next month, you can invest in this. Actually, these will make gorgeous little charms, little sapphire charms. And $7.95 though, I suppose you can afford to create quite a gem heavy birthstone piece. Maybe get 2 strands of this, allowing you to maximise on your 1p and p per day and create a whole chain length of pink sapphire. Actually, you could use my idea, and in my break I'm going to complete my necklace design that I started talking to you about 2 months ago, Mark, where I have started it. I've done the neckline and I've started putting gemstones on now.
Okay.
So it's got a rough cut morganite and then a faceted briolette morganite. So it goes like that down to the largest morganite in the centre. So that's the idea. So it's sort of like telling the story of where the gemstone comes from. So you could do that with these. What would you do with this?
Exactly what you said. I mean, I have quite a few rough cut strands on my craft stall next to the finished, completed, polished, faceted, beaded jewellery, so people can see from start to finish all the work that's taken place.
Yes.
For you to be able to buy amazing value jewellery.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So do you think that helps you to sell designs
Oh,
because it does break
draws
it
kids
down
in as well. Rough cut gemstones draw kids in.
I wonder what that's
Always
about.
make sure you've got a big chunk of amethyst, a big chunk of rose quartz, and a big chunk of tiger on your craft stall, and kids will home their parents in. That's just a little sneaky tip there.
That is a good tip, actually. You should go next door because they're doing the business workshop this morning. Yeah, I mean, there is something a little bit strange for me about bringing you sapphires for £7.95.
It's bizarre, isn't it?
Well, it is, because I have sold sapphire jewellery for four-figure sums next door on Gems TV. So
what I really like is that people who haven't seen JewelleryMaker before, who aren't clued up with gemstones, they probably only expected sapphire to be blue. End off. That's it. So to see pink and yellow and all sorts of different colours, I think that's what JewelleryMaker really is really specialised in. It's just opening up things that you might not have known with their gemstones. Yeah, I think that's true,
actually. I think that's one of the aims, isn't it? Yeah. To make the larger gemstone, maybe the more unknown gemstones, more accessible.
That's right, that's right.
And I think knowledge is power as well, of course. So the more you learn about gemstones and gemology, the more informed you are. You can make more informed purchases, but also gemology is one of those topics where the more you learn, the more you want to learn as well. You just start to soak it up like a sponge, don't you? We are going to have to leave that one with you, I'm afraid, at $7.95 because it is now approaching limited availability. It is, of course, next month's birthstone, so probably a good time to be investing in pink sapphire, especially at that kind of price point. $7.95. I realise, of course, that you've got that organic finish, but for 85 carats, $7.95 still doesn't seem quite right, does it? I'm actually going to jump over and come and see you, Mark. I think we're going to launch this kit.
Sorry.
We need the whole desk together. I'm going to bring my coffee as well.
Okay.
We can't be setting up this twice.
No.
Floor manager won't be able to go,
No.
Look at this. 10 strands of nuggets. So when you came in, you were like bouncing off the walls about this kit.
It was amazing. Absolutely amazing.
And you said to producer Dion, it's a 10-strander, and she was like, so 5 strands of nuggets then, and you were like, no, if you want to do it that way, it's a 20-strander.
It is completely and utterly. And as we were talking about, I mean, it's not just it's not putting it down, but it's not your rose quartz, and it's not your your green onyx. I mean, these are high-end nugget strands, aren't they? It's just incredible.
Again, you've got the rough cut, you've got the organic nature
right.
from the gemstones, but you've still got the prestige from, well, some of these gemstones are just awesome, aren't they? Emerald. Is that pink opal?
Yep.
Labradorite. Lemon quartz, are we looking at? Or citrine, I suppose it will be, yeah. Aquamarine.
Moonstone. Garnet.
Wow, moonstone.
I don't know if that's carnelian or it might be.
It looks like carnelian,
yeah. It's like a boutique bundle, isn't it? In a kit.
Is this hematite nuggets?
I think so. I know.
Oh my word! I'll tell you what. I was going to say this. This would be great for Christmas, but actually you've got pretty much
everything,
every season covered there, haven't you?
You've got all the autumn colours there. You've got the spring and summer. You've got the winter. It's perfect. Absolutely everything.
Let's take you through all of these strands quickly because we want to see what we've got. Oh, and you get memory wire in this kit as well.
Yep.
This is easily the most exciting kit I've ever presented.
Mad,
you're right. Now, the reason we're making reference to the fact that you could interpret this as a double strand is that it is twice the length of a traditional strand. We're looking at over 80 centimetres on each of these strands, and look at the quality of that labradorite. Labradorite, again, is one of the gemstones that at the moment, for me, is highlighting the improvement in the quality of the gemstones because, sometimes we've actually struggled to show you the labradorescence on screen, and yet we just don't have that problem anymore.
Greens and blues, and it's stunning, isn't it?
Quite traditional labradorescence on this strand as well, the electric greens and those sky blues. That's fantastic. I've got to keep going. They're telling me, hurry up, you've got 10 to get through. So these go beautifully together, actually, because you've got another of the big 4. Gorgeous emerald. We've already bought 2 of the big 4. It's only half past. And we've got... Actually, I like the opal. Then we've got your citrine, which is, of course, November's birthstone. So as we do move into the latter part of the year, you might start to think about birthstone jewellery. And, oh, January's birthstone as well, because we've got beautiful garnet here. Oh, I like them together, actually.
Lovely,
quite fiery, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's gorgeous. Actually, speaking of fiery gemstones, we've got carnelian. Look at that. I would feel like I would be letting the channel manager Paula down if I didn't say very autumnal. She takes the mickey out of me for using that word too much. Morning, Paula. We've also got this strand of hematite nuggets. Oh, they're really weighty, aren't they? Yeah. Do you find sometimes that the weight of a piece actually can convince somebody of its quality?
I think so. I think so. I mean, we'll look at the pieces that we made shortly, and you can see.
Oh yeah, some very gem-heavy pieces there. Fantastic. Okay, we've also got March's birthstone and Mark's favourite gemstone at the moment. Yes. Beautiful aquamarine. And then that's good actually, because you've got the sky blues in there as well. Wow, there's more colours than you find in the rainbow actually in this strand. Here we go. Oh, we've also got moonstone, and you've got plenty of adularescence on there as well, so you're getting the flashes. Mostly blue tones on these nuggets, but I think that's traditionally what people are looking for with their adularescence. Hopefully that's coming through on screen. Sometimes, again, it isn't always easy in our studio lighting, but definitely, I mean, it's a wash with adularescence. It's just the studio lighting preventing us from seeing that. And then this strand looks really interesting.
Topaz.
Oh my word,
in a kit.
White topaz.
In a kit, I know.
I didn't even realise that was in this kit. I just got excited when I saw emerald.
That was just...
You've got white topaz as well. Look at the number of white topaz you've got there. And actually, I was just thinking, I was talking about this last night, actually, funnily enough, saying that there's a lot of top-end designers now using this gemstone in place of diamonds as an accent. Yep. I suppose it's because you get a similar clarity, a similar sparkle, but you can get much higher carat weight and actually greater clarity, because often when people are using the smaller cuts of diamonds, they're not offering that same clarity. Wow, we're down to double figures. I should just say this was actually a high quantity kit. We had over 150 available when we first started, but we haven't got that many anymore. In fact, 60 kits have been allocated because you're at 96 and there was 156. Wow. So that just goes to show how impressive it is. But I mean, as I say, double strands there, 10. Now, that's not all you get, because the whole idea behind our kits is that we give you everything you need to get started with the hobby, or of course, on this occasion especially, everything you need to replenish all of your stocks at once. I think we're definitely covering that base. You've got a whole gemstone stash in the kit here. You've got your traditional threading materials, 50 metres of beading thread, 80 metres of monofilament and 6 metres of your elastic. And you've then got your rose gold plated copper findings, 118 pieces, metre length of chain, 3 different head pins, your ribbon cord endings, your toggle clasp, your slider clasp, your jump rings, your shepherd hooks, your spacer beads, your crimp beads and your crimp bead covers. This is one of the brand new findings packs recently been brought onto the channel.
This is my favourite chain.
The chain's gorgeous. That's what I was really drawn to then.
It's beautiful. It's really substantial but delicate. Yeah. Say, if that makes sense.
No, but I understand completely.
Stunning.
Because I suppose it's because the actual links look a little more robust. They're a little larger, but actually to the feel, it's still like a very fine chain, isn't it? So yeah, that's really gorgeous. Actually, that's going to provide you with a slightly different feel to your designs as well, isn't it? From a traditional chain. Yeah, it's really nice, that is. And that's not all you get, because we've also thrown in your memory wire. Now, I've been talking a bit about memory wire on the Late Show. We did a couple of deals, and I was talking about your designs actually, saying that they do lend themselves to nuggets beautifully, don't they?
I've done a memory wire bangle. When we come to look at the jewellery, I've done a memory wire bangle, and that's what I sell more of. I'll probably sell twice as many memory wire bangles than any other bit of jewellery apart from earrings on my store, because they're just so easy to wear. You can buy them as gifts and you know that they're going to fit.
Yes, of course.
There's no fiddly clasps. They just simply wind on, and as I said, for chips and nuggets, they are fantastic.
So you don't need to know someone's ring size. You don't need to know if they've got their ears pierced. You know it's definitely going to work.
That's right. No, absolutely.
No, That's a great point, actually. I mean, what kind of price point would you achieve on that?
They start at £15.
Okay.
And most expensive, depending on gemstone. I mean, I've recently had a commission for a morganite chip 3-coiler with white pearls, and that was £45, which I think is a bargain.
That sounds amazing.
It looks stunning. But
I'd like that.
So depending, so something like amethyst or rose quartz, plus an accompanying stone. I tend to use pearls.
I was going to say, actually, my favourite piece of jewellery, I know some of your work is really elaborate, but I just love that peridot and pearl memory wire bracelet. It just looks so effective to me. The vibrancy of the peridot, the classic nature of the pearls. That
starts at £15 for a
You could easily recreate that design with any of these.
You can get approximately 4-coil memory bangles out of every one of those strands. So you're looking at 16 bracelets at least.
Look at that number of directions.
20 at least. Yeah, I know.
It's amazing. It just came to life, that strand. Okay, well over half the stock's now been allocated, so I think we better get the price on screen before we show you our designs.
Oh my God. Really?
So you can own emerald, virtually a metre of emerald for less than £3. Well, a lot less than £3 because of course the white topaz, the labradorite, even the citrine is fantastic quality. So let's, even if we do take the price point against the cost of the gemstones, so we can say each and every strand is under £3. I'm happy with that. That means that you get everything else for free.
You're happy with topaz at £3?
Well, I'm not. I'm happier. I'm happier than taking it down to £2 and factoring in the findings.
No, good point. Yeah, good point.
I'd rather give the findings away than the gemstones. Unbelievable. I love the fact that, because you're like me when it comes to the seasonal thinking. So I like the fact that you can graduate them out and use it in that sort of traditional colour palette, if you like. But you don't have to. You can create brilliant colour blocking designs, I suppose, with this as well. Mark's the one that taught me about colour blocking. Now, I'm a hero of my sisters.
Oh yeah.
I'm all over Cheryl Cole's orange
style of jewellery, I think, as well. So that's used. I mean, that's an emerald bracelet. An emerald bracelet. You just can't comprehend it, can you, really?
Kathy has just texted in, Mark, to say, can you recommend any good starter kits? YNGC50 would be my suggestion, Kathy.
Yeah, without a doubt. They are so easy to use, honestly.
People sometimes are a little bit intimidated by the idea of chips because they think, oh, they're not going to sit like a perfect round will, and so they're a bit standoffish. But
I don't like using the word sample, because I think it takes away what the gemstone gives. But I always think that chips and nuggets are sample strands. So you buy a strand, quite inexpensive as we can see today. You get to use it, you get to know how it looks, how it feels, the colours that you can get from it, and then you progress on to buying your rounds or your pear cut drop. So that's a good way of starting gemstone collection and then moving up to the proper beads in inverted commas, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense, because actually you do get a finer drill hole with these as well, so you can get used to that side of things. But like you said, it's a little taster, and you get a huge number of gemstones as well, so that can't be bad, can it? We're actually approaching limited availability on this. We've got people multi-buying this. That means you're going to get, effectively, sort of 40 strands. Stones.
That's incredible. That's
so which of our designs are we going to be looking at this morning?
I thought I'd show you this little aquamarine bracelet here.
Spectacular.
Now, one of the things that people, especially on the Chips and Nuggets workshop, is a couple of our strands of the finer quality are quite small. And if you were sort of not very well sighted and you can't see the drill holes, they seem to be put off by it. So this is a cheats way of using the finer strands.
I love it. I love cheating.
And we did this with Ali on the Late Show a couple of weeks ago, and it was so simple. So what I've done, I've threaded on 2 strands of our beading thread. I've put on the 10 spacer beads that you get in your findings kit, which are just beautiful against this aquamarine. And all I've done is I've taken my strand and I found where the little knot is. I've cut it and I've taken off 2 inches off one side and 2 inches off the other, and I've kept, because you can use those with your featherweight head pins to make some earrings with if you wanted to. And then what I've done is I've knotted the 2 ends, so you're left with 2 inches of bare cotton. Okay, And then all we're going to do is we're going to macrame with it. So this is an effect, because the cotton is very strong inside there. It's not going to snap. So make sure that they're the same length. And instead of doing a square knot in between each bead, we're going to do, otherwise it'd be too big and bulky.
Okay, right, yeah.
So we're going to do the left-hand side of a square knot, first of all. As I said, you haven't had to take any of these off.
I've just worked out why the actual piece has so much fluidity to it now.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Okay, so we've done the sharp beads, and we do the right-hand side. So in effect, a square knot between each bead rather than a full square knot. And you can do this with the citrine. You can use the pads that you've got in the kit. All of the finer stones, push up to the and then the left hand, and you keep going. So either use the space of beads, or you come to the end of your. And then if I can have the completed bracelet done.
Of course.
So when you've got to the end and you've used up all your beads, you've got your 4 cotton ends from your strand plus your bead.
Okay.
Because what happens is if you put the beading thread in the clamp like that, it'll slide out because there's nothing to adhere to. So all I've done is I've put 3 or 4, 2 or 3, it's entirely up to how many you've got, crimp beads, crimp them down, and then that gives something then for the clasp to adhere to when you clamp it down.
Yeah, something to get purchased.
And using one of the head pins, all I've done is I've just made a little from the end of the.
I love it. And it adds value to the piece. You can carat weight more, I suppose.
Yeah.
No,
so I think recently we had tanzanite strands, and we call them on the Chips and Nuggets DVD. We call them microchips.
Yeah.
So any strand, it's brilliant. Any of that type of strand you can do this technique with without taking them off the strand. Just cut a couple of inches off either side, keep them in a little bag safe, and then you can do your macrame bracelet, a little chain on the back. And I just think that looks really delicate, very expensive, very high end for 5 minutes work.
That is amazing.
It's beautiful,
and the
it?
price point that you could actually achieve on that. Well, it could be an affordable piece based on the time you've spent, but of course the gemstones elevate it into another price bracket.
And you can swap the spacer beads for any round that you have corresponding.
So actually you could use, I'm thinking of a faceted lapis lazuli in the centre.
Oh my gosh.
You like that?
Yeah,
Sky Blues and the Royal Blues.
Perfect.
There you go. I should just make everybody aware we only have single figures of availability, and I'm being told that's quite an accurate reflection of the stock levels. We've got about 20 people who have left it placed in their basket. First 6 of you to check out will be successful. It looks like that's going to be a sellout kit. Incredible value when you think that you've got emerald, white topaz, moonstone, labradorite, aquamarine, hematite, garnet, opal, citrine and carnelian as part of the kit. And then we'll give you 118 pieces of rose gold plated copper in your findings pack, and your calls and memory wire. Oh, and your traditional dirty material just keeps going. It's the kit that keeps on giving. Yes, so just single figures of availability. You can see that actually you've used this kit to create very gem heavy pieces here, almost statement style jewellery designs.
That's right, absolutely.
I'll bring one of these over. Are we going to go over to the Wall of Fame? Shall I bring this one so we can have a look? Because the cameras have already moved. And I want to show this design. Okay, we're going to go over to the Wall of Fame and see what you've been creating. Welcome back to JewelleryMaker. Time for the Wall of Fame, and this is your opportunity to have your designs showcased live on the show. Don't panic if you don't see your design. Each and every entry will be entered into our prize draw, which will take place tomorrow morning. And I have to say, I'm going to start with the most fantastic fascinator.
Amazing, isn't it?
It's absolutely, it's out of this world. Number 328 in from Lisa Weeks. It says, I made this fascinator after watching the show. I hope you like it. I'm not sure, because I don't really like fascinators. Good luck to all.
What?
Well,
that's incredible.
I'll be worried about the pieces when you do like the jewellery design, because that is spectacular.
Feathers are going to be massive, aren't they, this year? This autumn.
I do hear that.
Yes.
That you would find that in a boutique or on a website. 3 figures, so no question, incredible. I would guess. That's beautiful. So you're 328, Lisa.
My first one for the 26, and this is from Claudia in Nuneaton. And Claudia says, entry, after making a necklace with the larger stones from a graduated strand of garnet, I had quite a few of the smaller left over. This earring and bracelet set are the result. I added one white quartzite flower to the bracelets for some added interest. Everything apart from the silver-plated flower spacer beads and the hand charm is from JewelleryMaker. Good luck to everyone for the Wednesday draw, especially me in brackets. Keep up the fun and all the bargains. Love to everyone, and that's Claudia, number 326.
We did used to sell those little
I remember.
charms.
Back in the day.
Yeah, during the war. So I've got number 329. This is up your street, Mark. Bit of Macrame on this one. This has been sent in by Mary in Felixstowe. It says, hi everyone at JM, hope you're all fine today. My entry is a bracelet made with orange and green wax cord, a lovely heavy watermelon quartz barrels. I haven't finished it off yet, but I shall make a macrame sliding clasp. All the materials are from JM. Good luck to everyone. Best wishes from Mary. So there you go, Mary, you are number 329. Gorgeous combination of colours.
Stunning, absolutely
really
beautiful.
Like that.
Beautiful.
Fantastic, actually, a nice unisex piece as well, because anybody could wear that.
Gemstone was stunning. I saw it on the show. It's just beautiful.
That watermelon quartz. Is that one you were after?
Yes, yes. Now this is incredible. Oh. We bow down to Alison Tarry, don't we?
Absolutely.
This is incredible. This is from Chloe Williams, and Chloe says, hello JewelleryMaker. This is my recent attempt at a wirework shoe. I was inspired by the wonderful Alison on a designer inspiration afternoon show. Rather than create a pair, I decided to make one as an ornament for my lounge, with wire that matches the colour scheme to test my skills. I was very pleased with the results. Keep this, and that's from Chloe. Now, was that would be made freehand or put around a shoe and then lifted off, I wonder? Because that's incredibly...
Surely you've got to have a template,
wow.
Or if not, actually, some of these wire workers are pretty impressive, so I don't know.
Nice to know.
If you are watching, Chloe, text in and let us know. We'd love to know that.
That's stunning, well done.
It's fantastic, isn't it? I'm really upset, actually, because I was supposed to present the handbag show, but Alison was ill.
Oh no.
So I didn't get to do it.
You should be able to some trainers.
I'll get over it, yeah.
You should be able to do it on trainers for chaps.
That'd be amazing. On top of my skate shoes, I wear the biggest shoes in the world.
I do.
Yeah. I've got number 330. This is coming from Kimberly, and it says, hi everyone, this is my gut Prue's necklace she had on the show a couple of weeks ago. The tassels are different as I did not read the end of her instructions and thought I was doing it correctly. Oh, I think that's a good interpretation, to be honest.
Absolutely.
It's better to put your own spin on things. I used size 8 seed beads and made beady beads with them as well. I used 190 altogether on the long one. The short one is the first time I've used beads this way. Again, I used size 8 and I used 400. And the first I finished a Kumihimo necklace. I watch most days and can't really go out as I have back problems. So this really cheers me up. With all the laughs you have. Wishing everyone good luck. When are you getting more of these beads in? As I'm now running low. So yeah, that's coming from Kimberly. I'll try and find out for you. We may even have some later in the show.
The bundle from the beginning, the triple hematite.
Yes, triple hematite. Those will work perfectly, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic. So that's quite interesting, actually. I'm glad that we entertain you in the morning because, well, we both had bad backs in the past and it is very, very uncomfortable and can be very painful. So get well soon, Kimberly. Glad you're enjoying the show. Beautiful set of jewellery there, and you are number 330. Now we're going to go to a quick break. When we return, we're going to launch a brand new strand of peach pearls. These would go so fantastically with the keshi pearls that we launched as our early bird. So if you did open your order with those, don't forget 1 P&P per day, and we're going to give you the opportunity to add these gorgeous pearls to your order in just a couple of minutes.
We've teamed up with some great crafting magazines to offer our customers an exclusive promotion. From the 18th to the 22nd of August, we're giving you the chance to take up a 6-issue subscription to any of the following titles from just $19.99. That's a saving of up to 44%. Take your pick from Crafts Beautiful, Sew, Homemaker, Let's Knit, Make and Sell Jewellery, Paper Crafter, or Let's Get Crafting. Simply go to the website or call 01795 414 964 and quote the discount code JMOffer. Terms and conditions apply. Please see the website for further details. JewelleryMaker are having a web exclusive sale on 925 sterling silver. Head over to our website now and take advantage of up to 75% off. All stock must go, but be quick because if you miss it, you'll miss out.
Join guest designer Louise Jacobson for our Wirework Rings DVD. This DVD contains a step-by-step guide on how to use a ring mandrel, create single and double stone rings, cluster rings and much more. Get the inspiration and help you need to create your very own handmade jewellery. To get your hands on a copy, contact our call centre. Get creative with JewelleryMaker.
Welcome back to JewelleryMaker. Time for another premiere launch this morning and another opportunity to add beautiful cultured pearls to your order. Now these are very, very sizable. They're 11 by 10 millimeters in size. So, you know, we're accounting for the slight irregularity in the size and shape there. But, I mean, if these were perfect rounds, and from a distance, you know, to the naked eye, I don't think too many people would have an argument. But if they were perfect rounds at this kind of size, they would be classified as luxury pearls, and you could be expecting to pay a very, very high price point. In fact, in a break, I was just saying to Mark, have you ever seen a perfectly round pearl that you didn't assume was fake? Because when you do see the perfect rounds, you know that you're either going to have to pay huge sums of money or it's actually been created. It's usually a faux pearl. So I actually think the very slight elongation on your cultured pearls provides you with credibility. It shows your customers that you are working with the real deal, particularly in these very sizable cultured pearls. Now, we've already brought you one opportunity to add genuine pearls to your order this morning with the keshi pearls, the peach tone. This time, this is why I describe this as more of a champagne hue, because this is much more of a peach or an apricot tone that you've got here. So I actually think they work beautifully together because you do have the more traditional rounds matched with that. In fact, you could just use one of these, set maybe into two of these, almost use these like they're a little oyster shell. The two little keshi pearls. You like that?
What?
There you go. I don't know how you would do that. But I imagine with a 0.4 mil, probably a wrap.
Yeah, make a frame.
Yeah, does that work? I would do that. I have to say, you could do this. Actually, I'm thinking bridesmaids, restrand it, add a sterling silver clasp, you're done. The wedding favours are sorted, their jewellery for the day is sorted. This is quite a traditional bridal party colour tone, actually.
It is.
I only know this because there's a bridal magazine in the office and I keep flicking through it when my producer's negotiating prices. And so I'm getting a feel for the current wedding scene, Mark.
Oh,
yeah. Peaches and violets, I hear. for bridal parties, not necessarily for the bride, but yes. So there you go. Peach cultured pearls in a luxury size, a premiere launch. As we all know, we are expecting to see increases on the price of pearls, an industry-wide increase based on the decrease in the production of cultured pearls. So you know what it's like, market forces and all that. Less to go around, they become more sought after, the prices tend to rise. That's the nature of the gemstone business, I suppose, but not here at JewelleryMaker. Because we're part of the Genuine Gemstone Company, we've been working with the same pearl suppliers for the best part of 10 years. We are going to provide you with the prices on the market, and there you go. Luxury pearls for $19.95. However, this morning, producer D is in the hot seat. She doesn't mess around. She's going to provide everybody with an exclusive launch price this morning. Now, I don't think this will be honoured at 9 AM tomorrow morning. In fact, I'm being told that it definitely won't be. This is an exclusive deal for 24 hours only. In fact, 23 hours actually, because when tomorrow's live show launches, these will return to the original price point of $19.95, which is already fantastic value. But this morning, your best opportunity to get involved with this particular deal, because we've taken it down to the exclusive price point of $14.95. That gorgeous tone there. It's got a little more depth to it than, you know, the feminine hues of peach. This has got a slightly richer colour tone, maybe more like an apricot colour as. But I mean, you only really need 2 of these to make a beautiful pair of pearl earrings, and
that's your money back. There
you go. You make your money back because of the size of the pearls, I suppose. They're luxury sizes, aren't they? So people will appreciate that you're working with the real deal. They are genuine cultured pearls. And actually, this is the great thing about working with pearls. Every single day, you find people wearing, you know, the stud pearl earrings, just as their everyday piece of jewellery. But whenever you go to a special event, all the ladies are wearing pearls. So it just shows you that they do cover all the bases. Associations with, as I say, everyday jewellery, as well as your special event jewellery, shall we say. Absolutely fantastic. And my theory is that this colour tone will work all season long. If you think about autumnal designs, another reference to that word, my apologies, but these will work perfectly in those. Oh, here you go, Cheryl. I'll knock you up a little number. The orange and purple. Actually, it does work. You work.
No, that's a really nice combination. Yeah. I would incorporate some black, I think. Be
bit
complete.
of black.
I don't think I got any black.
Bit of spinel, maybe, something like that.
I think that'd be amazing, wouldn't it?
We have had some fantastic spinel recently. We've been launching some strands, so that'd be good, because that would bring a level of sophistication to the design.
Cocktail party, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely. Okay, I've got to leave that one with you. It's flying out the door. Of course, that exclusive launch price is only available for the next 23 hours, until tomorrow morning at 9 AM, basically. We're going to move on, and we're now going to bring you an essential finding, because, of course, here at JewelleryMaker, we don't just focus on genuine gemstones, because we also have to provide you with the mechanics of your jewellery designs, if you like. And I suppose the interesting thing about bringing the findings is that I always think everybody's going to have their own relationship with gemstones. Everyone's got their own personal favourites they like to work with. You know, some people like showcase faceted rounds, other people prefer chips and nuggets, for example. But no matter what genre of jewellery making you work within, no matter what gemstones you favour, you're always going to need your essential findings, particularly clasps, of course, because they are the traditional fastening for your bracelets and necklaces, of course. And here we've got your bolt ring clasps. Now, all of these do seem to have a jump ring attached, so you get your jump ring and your bolt ring clasp with this particular item, and you're getting 50 in each colour tone. Now, these are all plated copper, so the base metal is copper, but you have got the precious metal platings on top. So you've got your rose gold plated copper bolt rings, 50 of those, your yellow gold plated copper, 50 of those, they all come with that jump ring, don't forget, and you've got your silver plated copper bolt ring clasps. Again, you get 50 of those, so 150 clasps in total. Now, during the war, we only used to do one findings pack, and it had about 25 pieces of sterling silver. Of course, it's always nice to work with precious metals, but he does sometimes limit the wholesale opportunities we can provide you with, because of course if you are offering people very expensive precious metals, you can't be necessarily adding lots of items into the bundle without increasing the price point to a point where it wouldn't necessarily suit all of our jewellery makers. So this is the reason for these variations. You still get the high-end finish from the plating, but you've got the base metal as something more affordable, which in this case is copper. Actually sometimes makes it a little bit easier, especially if you're coming up with more experimental designs, because you might be, you know, not necessarily want to use all of your precious metals in, you know, just something you're trying out, but you can do it with the base metals. And as I say, if you're fortunate enough to be very talented and your experimental design works out perfectly, you've still got a high-end finish because of the plating on these. So we've covered the most traditional metal tones here, your yellow gold, your rose gold and your silver, something I suppose for every jewellery making eventuality here, and a wholesale deal. The more items that we include in our bundles, the more cost effective we can make it, and therefore this is going to be a very, very impressive wholesale opportunity this morning. All you jewellery makers need to be dialing that free phone number 150 bolt ring clasp with jump ring for $12.95.
Wow,
that's amazing. So that means you can get, for example, 50 gold rose gold plated copper bolt rings with jump rings for £4.32 effectively. That is impressive. That is amazing. Oh, and Beverly has texted in to say, Mark, without soldering, how do you ensure that your jump rings do not open? I'm worried about selling and the jewellery coming apart. Beverly, you don't want to see my chainmail. It's a good question, actually.
What I tend to do when I'm closing up my jump rings is when you open them, close them so they won't close, if that makes sense. So they're slightly overlapping.
Right.
And then go in with your flat nose pliers and give it a quick bang, and it clicks together, and that will not open there, because that click work hardens the point where the two meet as well, because you've gone really at it with your pliers. So just open, close so they overlap, and then scrunch the overlap with your flat nose pliers until you get a big click. And then that work hardens the section where they meet.
Right. Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it makes sense. In fact, I'm clicking the save button now in my brain, because
that really works.
One of the reasons that I favour chainmail actually is because I feel like, oh, you always get a professional finish, but then I put my design on Facebook and everyone's like, I can see 4 open jump rings there, Ed. And I was like, oh no, the finish is horrible. And then it does sort of detract from the achievement if you haven't achieved the finish you want. Yeah. So I absolutely understand. I'm going to do that as well. Yeah. Thanks for asking that question. You might have made me a better jewellery maker as well. So thanks, Mark. No, that's good advice. Of course, you know, if you're starting to sort of solder and things, then you're starting to move into. So I suppose you're moving towards silversmithing and metalwork and stuff like that. So if you do want to keep it simple, that's a top tip. $12.95 is not the price. Put his face to them so that I'm not associated with them. Okay. I just scapegoat Pete. I make him stand here holding them. Yeah, I'm not a very nice person. No, I'm joking. It's just that we're just messing around because Pete's part of the gang.
Okay.
People who regularly watch the Designer Inspiration Show will be aware of Pete from his lovely impressions that he brings you. Which basically involve him saying iconic lines from films in his own voice. Now everyone's reliving some of Pete's impressions in my ear now. I can't believe what you've just done. You've taken this to under £10 now. Bearing in mind you've got 150 bolt ring clasps, and we've even included the fastening here, the little jump ring attached to it. Open jump rings, are they? Yes, open jump rings attached to these bolt ring clasps. £10. You can see how quickly these are now flying out the door. If you do want to get involved, then you need to start dialing that free phone number right now. A wholesale deal on your essential bolt ring clasps here, rose gold, yellow gold and silver plating on top of your base metal here for $9.95, intended to be $12.95. Now I know the trick here because I used to be the manager on the channel, and basically what the producers do is they create a wholesale bundle like this, they send it to you and they say, yeah, I'm going to sell it for $12.95. You approve it, it gets scheduled, it comes on the show, and then they take it down to £10. There's nothing sales manager Scott can do now as we move into double figures. It's on screen, but I have a feeling that if you are watching the repeat and you're phoning up for this, we're only going to have limited availability left in stock, if any, I suppose. But always call our call centre to make sure. You never know, anything can happen. Somebody's card might not go through, or somebody might change their mind, somebody might leave it in their basket. Actually, on that note, I think it's good advice to tell the 20 odd people who've got this item placed in their basket, you better check out now, because we also have a queue on our free phone number. You know, I don't want to pressure you. If you are still umming and ahhing and you're not 100% sure, all I would say is you do have a 30-day money-back guarantee. So, you know, it is a risk-free shopping experience, particularly when you're getting a wholesale deal like this. You can get them home for $9.95 right now, and then make your decision once you see them in the flesh. Can't imagine anybody being disappointed really with that deal, particularly experienced jewellery makers who have potentially sourced supplies from elsewhere in the past, maybe before JewelleryMaker even existed. You might have had to invest in bolt ring clasps. Have you ever seen value like this prior to today? 150 bolt ring clasps with precious metal platings here, rose gold, yellow gold and silver, for $9.95. As I say, there's still a lot of people coming through on our free phone number. Just another part of the risk-free experience we offer you here at JewelleryMaker. Dial that free phone number, you're going to come through to a member of our award-winning help team who will add this to your order. And there are a lot of people multi-buying this. Do you know, that's encouraging for me, because it makes me feel like a lot of jewellery makers have elevated their hobby into a small business. Because if you're investing in 300 bolt ring clasps, presumably you are selling your designs. Or maybe you do just have a large family, and as we approach Christmas, you need to stock up to make all of your gifts. It does have to start becoming a consideration, doesn't it, as we move into autumn, especially if you're doing the craft fairs, because from about October onwards, all the decorations will be out, I'm afraid. I know people don't like it. Yes, and let me just take you through the sizes. Somebody has texted in. My apologies, I should have taken you through this. The gold plated, the yellow gold plated are 8x5, as are the silver plated copper. So these are 8x5 millimeters. And the rose gold are a little larger. These are 10x6 mil. So there you go. Quite traditional sizes, really. They're not going to be, you know, necessarily a feature in your design. Although I do like seeing the clasp set in an asymmetrical fashion, because I quite like it. It gives a bit of... Now, you prefer a traditional fastening? Well,
I do, but saying that, I've got an asymmetric piece in the next kit, so I'm not entirely prone to...
There you go. Each to their own. Horses for courses. It'd be boring if we all liked the same, wouldn't it? We're going to move on, because we've got so much to bring you. Now, unfortunately, so far this morning, we haven't had much of an opportunity to bring you a huge wholesale deal on chips and nuggets. Oh yes, we have. But we've got another one. That's what we do here at JewelleryMaker. It's our aim not only to provide you with the best value on the market, but also to provide you with the greatest selection of gemstones. And as Mark was explaining with the kit, the chips and nuggets are a great way to start your collection. Fantastic sort of sample strands, we were describing them as.
Yeah, I must come up with another word. I don't like sample. I'll come up with something.
Do you think it detracts from the romance of the gemstone
I think so. I'll think of something.
Yes. Taster strands. But again, it doesn't sound romantic enough for gemstones, does it? Text in if you've got any suggestions. 60777. Start your text with the phrase JM Studio, or of course if you're watching online or via your smartphone, then you can just click the message box. In fact, I was watching the show on my smartphone the other day and I realised you don't even have to click anything. It just says underneath the box, write your message here. So very easy to interact with our show. Again, this is a delicious combination of gemstones. That's the only word I can use to describe this. They almost look edible.
One of my favourites in the middle.
These two?
Yeah, the green, yeah. I just love that. Absolutely love it.
I had to put the purple and green together because I love that combination. I'm glad that you agree with me on that one.
Yeah, yeah.
This is gorgeous. Actually, I love the two green strands together because it's a gorgeous contrast between the pastel tones and the richer greens there. Let me take you through the gemstones because rather excitingly we're able to bring you June's birthstone, my birthstone, beautiful rainbow moonstone. The only reason I say that is, and mine, Dee's just showing off as she said it's her birthday. I think it's you get quite lucky if you've got a gemstone that offers you an optical effect as your birthstone, because it means that everybody offers you.
Does that make you even more special?
Jewellery. I don't know what it is. I just love the fact that it's my birthstone has an optical effect. So if I own it, which I do, then I get to show it off all the time. I suppose gemstones that do offer you that optical effect are a great way to build rapport with customers, of course, because you know, if people that don't have that knowledge of gemstones and jewellery, when they do see that, it does capture their imagination. It does become a bit of a talking point, doesn't it? I have to tell you, we only have a limited number. We're starting with, as you can see, it's already flying out the door, so I'm going to quickly take you through these strands. As we always describe these as almost a double strand because they're twice the length of a traditional strand. Each and every strand here over 80 centimetres. You've got rainbow moonstone, you've got your gorgeous sunstone, beautiful and traditional amethyst there, gorgeous regal pearl tones that you get from your Pyrite, and then we also have beautiful sodalite there. Very, very impressive saturation of colour, so very rich royal blue, but almost ranging into your denim blues if you like. So there are slight variations on your sodalite. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 strands here. As I say, they are double stranders, and I have to say, Director Ollie is all about the length today. He's just worked out the exact amount of centimetres you're getting here. 480 centimetres, so over 4.5 metres of gemstones. This is such a strange way to judge gemstones. I'm used to looking at carat weights, but actually I suppose to look at the carat weight here would be quite ridiculous. Oh, okay, these are flying out the door. Half the stock's been allocated. Once again, we've got multi-buyers, very impressive. Oh, well, no wonder. Oh. Less than £2.50 a strand. Can I crack a joke that I cracked last night?
Go on then.
D, you're going to get invited to Christmas dinner. I reckon. If you can render me speechless, then my family are going to be right on the phone to you. What else can you say? Less than £2.50 for green onyx, rainbow moonstone, sunstone, amethyst, onyx, Pyrite, and sodalite. And Tanya, regular contributor once again, has got involved. Ed, there are Christmas cards already out in the shops. It's not allowed. Loving the show. Tanya's just down the road in Birmingham. Thanks for getting involved. There you go, you see. It's stuff. All I can say is, holidays are coming, holidays are coming. That's when it really becomes Christmas, isn't it? When you see the old back of that truck.
Oh yes, I know.
That's when it all becomes a reality. Jennifer also texts in to say, hi boys, why don't cannibals eat clowns? Because they taste funny. Good one, Jennifer. That's classic. It's a classic. Well, these are literally flying out the door. I mean, often when I talk about value, I'm not necessarily focusing on, solely on the price. I'm thinking about the price versus the quality of the gemstones, the carat weights that you're receiving, and the design potential for a strand, but I have to say, on this particular bundle, it really is all about the price point. To get each of these gemstones for less than £2.50, I mean, based on what you were telling us earlier,
£30 a strand you can make out of a double strander. Incorporating another gemstone and memory wire bracelet, you can make £30 out of a strand.
Wow. So, over £180 from this bundle then. Because you were saying you made that sort of bangle design, and that would be around about £15. So from one design, you'd make your money back on this bundle.
Easily, without a doubt.
There you go. That just goes to show why this is flowing out the door so quickly. We've got just a handful remaining in stock. And have you done your on the show? Then include your name in your message. It says, "Why are fish easy to weigh?" Because they have their own scales.
They're getting worse.
Oh, no. Oh yeah. Not putting your name to that one, eh? I see. Like that, is it? Right, we're moving on. Oh yes. Are we doing this now? Oh, okay. I was getting excited then. November's birthstone, beautiful citrine, set into sterling silver chain, and these hand-wrapped loops. We know that this is not only offering you a very high-end finish to your designs, but also it's a massive time saver, isn't it, to invest in these gorgeous chains. This is coming up.
We did an experiment on Morning Show once, and we
I watched and I referenced it last night on the Late Show.
40 seconds per link.
But we were talking about this last night, and Deb was saying that you're particularly quick at doing them anyway, from what she's seen on screen.
I'm addicted.
But she was saying that after you'd done it for about half an hour, you probably would start to slow down naturally, so it would end up taking you about a day's work in reality. Yeah,
but no, it's addictive.
There you go. But yeah, I did see that experiment actually. Great telly, guys. I like that. So this is coming up in 10 minutes. Oh, and I've just realised, look at this for a combination. The purple amethyst and the golden citrine. That's fantastic, I think. There you go. If you are a jewellery maker that works, you know, from season to season, tries to stay ahead of the game, of course you're looking at November's birthstone there. Where moving on to, sorry? Oh yes, great. Another essential finding, another wholesale deal. And of course this is a great way, once again, to expand your suite of jewellery. Am I being silly? Is there a pair of tweezers that I've lost? It's probably my fault.
Mine.
It's all right, Cass is on it. Thank you though, Mark. Thank you, Cass. I lost my tweezers. No, put your goggles on, guys. I'm not very good with tweezers. There we go. So these are your posts and butterfly backs for your earring designs. You do get the little loop here, so you can easily hang maybe a little briolette droplet off there, very high-end design. These are rose gold plated copper once again, so you've got that high-end plating on top of your base metal. Another wholesale opportunity, 50 pairs in total here, so a fantastic way to potentially create very affordable designs. I think the last time that Mark and I did a show together, you were telling me that when you do attend craft fairs, you regularly have around about 400 different earring designs on your store.
My stand holds 400.
It looks fantastic, I have to say. I saw the picture on Facebook a couple of months ago. It looks amazing.
I'll let you finish this and then I'll tell you something.
Okay, Mark's got a little bit of info to share with us. But yeah, so, you know, important to offer your customers a lot of variety, I suppose. Choice tends to be the spice of life. So if you are able to expand the jewellery designs that you're offering your customers when you're attending craft fairs, then it will potentially lead to greater sales. And of course here you're going to get a very high-end yet feminine finish from your rose gold plated copper. 13mm in terms of the post, and it does have this detailing on the end, this little ball, which is 4mm. The back itself is 4x2mm, the butterfly back. So again, very traditional look here, but a wholesale opportunity. 50 pairs in total. Another limited opportunity to add these to your order. If you want to get involved, you need to be dialing that free phone number right now to add these to that 1 P&P per day 14.95, another incredible deal, especially for the jewellery makers who are selling designs, who are potentially needing to replenish their stocks more often. And this way, you know you're going to have 50 pairs of butterfly bats and earring posts in your stash, ready for action as we approach the Christmas craft fairs. $14.95, a great way, as I say, to expand your jewellery selection, but also maybe you don't sell your designs, maybe you're more of a hobbyist and you enjoy creating jewellery designs to wear personally. Then it's nice to have something like this, because you don't have to do a great deal of work with this finding to create a very wearable pair of earrings. You just need to select a gemstone that you love. I mean, potentially you could, I suppose, just take varying lengths of your chain and hang it from this to create that sort of waterfall style or chandelier style earring design. And again, you don't have to do a great deal of work because it's all done for you on the chain as well. All you really need is a head pin, really, isn't it?
What's really nice as well, what you could do is if you take the, I call the teddy bear off the back.
Right, yes, yes, yes.
What's that called? The back plate.
The little butterfly bat.
Yeah, and if you put a head pin up, so the little ball goes up below the two little rings,
right,
and then start your beading, you get that really nice little flourish at the bottom, just a bit of decorative at the end of your earring.
It's like little butterfly wings.
Yeah, it looks really nice.
Yeah, that's gorgeous. That's a great idea. So this is the beauty of jewellery making, isn't it? Because as part of the design process, you get to express your own personality, you get to experiment, you've got that creative outlet, or you can rely on the finding itself to create a very traditional design in terms of your earrings. So can't go wrong with that bundle. $14.95 for 50 pairs of posts and butterfly backs. We're going to leave that one with you and we're going to move on. Don't forget that citrine chain coming up very, very soon. Ooh, in fact, we're going to give you one more opportunity to get a wholesale price point on high-end chips and nuggets. The number of gemstones you get is always impressive on these strands, but I love the colour combinations that you've got as part of this bundle again. Ooh, is it 2 strands of aquamarine in one chips and nuggets bundle? And completely different finish on both. So you've got one that offer you more of the muted organic tones and one that have got this gorgeous, almost glassy, ice-like finish to them. That's really impressive. I love that. You could recreate Mark's design from the kit. If you missed out on the kit, which some people did, you could easily recreate that design because you've got the aquamarine nuggets as part of this bundle. 2 strands of aquamarine, March's birthstone, and this is beautiful because it ranges nicely into the lavender purples. Amethyst, rather beautiful. Then you got 2. That moves perfectly into these rich reds that you're getting from this particular strand of garnet, but you also get 2 strands of garnet as part of this January's birthstone.
Oh my god.
Ah, I've just worked it out. That's not a different finish on the aquamarine. That's green amethyst. But you're getting a lot of those sky blue hues there on the green amethyst actually. So that's green. Why you've got that more lustrous finish to this gemstone. So you've got your aquamarine, your green amethyst, so a very similar colour tone there. Rather than offering you a sort of a pastel green, it's more of a lagoon tone, if you like. So you're getting blue hues there in your green amethyst. That's beautiful. Absolutely fantastic. Love that. Then you've got your amethyst. Then you've got your 2 strands of garnet. So you've got one that's got more of the purple hues, the rich, almost red wine-like tone, and one that is offering you more of the sort of cherry reds and the cognacs. So that's the variation in your garnet. And that brings you beautifully into the earthy colour tones of your tiger's eye. So again, a fantastic sort of range of colours there, a little colour palette, if you like. Perfect for the winter and autumn months. Actually, what it does is it leads you beautifully from autumn into winter, doesn't it? As you move from these earthier colours, which offer you that slightly richer, warmer colour tones, into the icy colours of your green amethyst and your aquamarine. You like that?
I love that. You're getting good at this.
Yeah, thanks. There you go.
You should have worked for ladies' magazines.
contact me via Facebook. I'm open to offers. L Company. Yeah. What's the one you're working with, Keza? Company. That's supposed to be where I got it from. There you go. Put a good word in for me. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 strands once again. I've got a funny feeling I know where the price point's going to go. Less than £2.50 a strand for Garnet, aquamarine and amethyst. I love the green amethyst and the lavender amethyst together. Yeah. At the end of the news, the weather forecast. Basically, I don't know if she was trying to annoy me, this woman, but she's basically saying, summer's over. Yep. It's going to rain for the next 2 weeks. Forget it. That's how she was the real voice of doom this morning, the lady doing the weather on the radio. I hope not, because I'm going to Cornwall next week, so hopefully we'll get some sun. Who knows? We are now down to double figures of availability on this. You can understand when we're offering you this kind of value for your taster strands, if you like, of Tiger's Eye, Garnet, lavender amethyst, green amethyst and aquamarine. So you've got 1, 2, 3 gemstones there, and basically that starts off the new year rather perfectly. So your birthstone jewellery for next year is sorted. Garnet being January's birthstone, you've got 2 strands of that. Amethyst being February's birthstone, and you've got 2 strands of that. And aquamarine, March's birthstone. One of the premier gemstones from the beryl family. Quite impressive gemstone family, isn't it, beryl? The reason I say that is you've got a number of very exclusive gemstones that belong to the same family: aquamarine, morganite and emerald, all members of the beryl family, so very impressive. But you've also got your gorgeous garnet here. You've got amethyst, of course, one of the most well-known gemstones on the market, and of course a gemstone that actually sort of provides you with credibility if you are selling your designs, because this is the gemstone that I suppose people are mostly aware of. They expect to see jewellery designers working with this, and that means that people will understand that you are able to source the real deal, that you're working with genuine gemstones, luxury items, I suppose. And if you do have a look on the high street, they're going to offer you tiny carat weights of amethyst for, you know, potentially quite large sums of money. You know, 1 carat of amethyst set into silver, and they want sort of 70, 80 pounds for the design. But of course, if you're working with the more organic cuts, and it's evident from the length of the strand, we can actually offer you much higher carat weights for these price points. And of course, you can pass those savings on to your customers, because you can create more affordable pieces if you are working with the organic cuts. And actually, as I say, what I tend to think is a good idea and is if you use maybe one of the faceted gemstones in those designs as well. It's a bit more of an informed design, but also then you can show people that you can literally source the whole range from the organic cuts to the very high-end faceted varieties. I love that idea, but that's just me. And we're going to give you another new in now. We are going to launch the Citrine Chain. Now I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, is this half a metre or is it more like a metre? It's a metre length of chain here. Fantastic. Now I've counted a few of these already, and it doesn't make great TV, but on every one I've counted so far, we've had over 100 gemstones on the chains. I think one had 108, one had 132. So I'm fairly confident that you're going to get close to, if not over, 100 individually faceted citrine rondelles. They're 3 by 2 mil in size, so actually we have seen very delicate rondelles in the past, but these are a little more sizable. Sometimes you get the 2 by 1 mil, and those are very, very delicate, aren't they? These are, you know, certainly large enough to make an impact on your design, particularly when you get this beautiful colour tone on your citrine. I can't work out whether citrine is the most effective birthstone or not. Basically what I'm thinking is, normally you wouldn't necessarily associate this sort of sunshine, golden glow with the month of November.
Oh, I see.
Because in our country it's a bit drizzly in November, isn't it? But I was thinking maybe that's perfect. If you wake up soon, when we leave the house it's going to be dark, when we get home it's going to be dark. I'm sorry, but it is true. What is that weather woman done to me this morning? But what I was going to say is, if you wake up and it's dark and it's drizzly, and you put on your gorgeous citrine jewellery, of course, we know, or it's suggested, oh dear, we only have a very limited stock availability on this particular item. It's already selling. Well, all I was going to say is basically, it suggested that psychologically, the colour yellow can promote happiness and positivity. So maybe on a dark, dull, drizzly morning, if you're putting on your citrine jewellery, it might lift your spirits. Does that seem like a reasonable theory?
I think so. I've got an interesting yellow fact as well.
Hit me!
It's not a very interesting fact, but yellow cars are involved in less accidents than any other colour.
Well, yeah, maybe that's because the drivers don't experience road rage because they're all so happy. Yeah. I think they can't see their car, so that would work.
Yeah, but because it's such a noticeable colour and it catches your eye. And
actually, they do say that kind of goes along the lines of, you know, some things are easier in a car at night. Like blind corners, for example, you see whether there's a light or whether there's headlights or not. So it kind of goes along that line of thinking, doesn't it? If something's more noticeable, then you're less likely to crash into it, I suppose. Yeah. There you go, that's a good fact. Lots and lots of people already getting involved. As you can see, we're only starting with double figures of availability. I'll tell you why. Such a time-consuming item to create. These have all been hand-wrapped for you. I know Mark's addicted to the technique, but to create 55 lengths, fancy that?
See, if I bought them, I've got quite a few of these that I haven't done it yet, but what I'm going to do is cut it into 2-inch long pieces, just have earrings.
Yeah,
simple.
I've heard that suggestion a few times actually, and of course you could go to town and create
5 or 6 different lengths.
And exactly. And actually, I was thinking you could even make them detachable, so you could have the more conservative lengths for during the day, and then just put on the longer, the shoulder duster lengths. Yeah. There you go. Okay, we've got to get the exclusive launch price on there. You can see how quickly they're being allocated to people's orders. $21.95. This is sterling silver chain as well.
Gosh.
Wow. I have to say, if you are thinking about this, maybe you're an hour and you're not quite perfect for your designs, I would definitely use the 30-day money-back guarantee to get this home. As you can see, because of how time-consuming and labour-intensive it is to create this item, we've only actually been able to source a limited number of this particular chain. $21.95. November's birthstone, those rich golden tones coming through from your citrine, and it's available this morning for just $21.95. Now hopefully, if there are any remaining in stock at tomorrow morning at 9 AM, we will honour this exclusive launch price, but right now this has to be your best opportunity to get involved. You can see how quickly these are being allocated. I suppose it's because a lot of the work's done for you. So actually on this instance, maybe the value is held in the amount of time it saves you. Of course, a lot of people have to factor in the time it takes them to create the designs into the price points that they want to achieve. Of course, if all the work's done for you, you can potentially create more affordable items. I personally would have to get hold of this amethyst as well, because I just think it's a gorgeous combination.
I think Smoky quartz would look really well. I've got some really nice faceted, quite chunky rondelles at home, so just split up the chain. I've got some there. And split up the chain and just alternate them. Large rondelle, citrine, large rondelle, citrine. I think that looks amazing.
I know the ones you're talking about actually, those Smoky quartz rondelles. They were gorgeous, weren't they? Yeah. Chocolate browns and golds, fantastic, especially for autumn designs. That'd be gorgeous, wouldn't it? They're flying out the door at $21.95. Oh, actually, how about this for a bit of a contrast? That's very opulent, isn't it?
Wow. Oh. So I'll bring in those pearls as well, those peach pearls that we had earlier.
That's a fantastic. With
all three of those, I think would look stunning, wouldn't they? I like that a lot. That really lifts it, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It brings a lot of freshness to it. It's quite intense, but the pearls sort of hold them together, don't they? That's fantastic. That ruby is coming up just after 11 a.m. Another opportunity to invest in one of the big four. So that means we've got 3 of the big 4 on today's show. Unbelievable. Okay, the citrine, we're going to leave that one with you. And we're going to go straight over to bring you another brand new kit this morning. Oh, another exciting colour combination.
Different sizes and lengths and things, but
these are the more sizable.
Yeah.
These are nuggets rather than chips, I guess.
We call them teeth on the DVD.
Teeth.
Yeah, not a very romantic name, but I think it works.
Well, it's good because it does actually already suggest certain designs to me. I'm thinking of these sort of tribalistic designs.
Right.
So that's the way I'm seeing it. But actually, this is rather beautiful. The first thing I thought when I looked at the combination of gemstones was the forest green purple, but actually the Amazonite is fantastic, isn't it?
3 completely different looks out of this kit. I managed to get 3 sets of jewellery, but I haven't been able to. I have mixed them. I've mixed 2 of them.
Yeah.
But the others I thought deserved.
I
to be kept on
suppose
their own.
that's a key indicator that you've got a lot of design scope with this, because you can. I mean, I'm like you, tend to think of the colour combinations for sweets, but I suppose sometimes people use different techniques to distinguish. But lots of potential because of the variations of colours here. Again, I'll take you through the gemstones because we only have a limited number of this kit as well. You saw how quickly 156 of the last kits sold out before we even got over to the Wall of Fame. And I think that given the value we can offer you this morning, we're expecting to see similar activity on this particular kit. I've already got people flying in on the phone lines. People know the value we bring you these days. Here we go. Amazonite teeth, shall I call them? Yes? Okay. So Amazonite teeth, and I'm just going to quickly find the carat weight. Over 200 carats on that one. Then you've got your lapis lazuli, over 300 carats, and the nuggets, or teeth here, sorry, range in size from 10 by 5 to 25 by 6, so huge variation in the sizes. You've got your traditional amethyst tones there, that rich purple tone, and you're getting 300 carats of amethyst as well. And here, the beautiful green agate, and you've got 380 carats there. Those are actually broader as well as having the length, aren't they? Those are slightly larger offerings there. So again, very impressive to bring you not only 4 strands, but very, very very rich carat weights.
We don't get lapis lazuli very often at all at the moment. Well, we know where we're sourcing it from, which is quite difficult at the moment. But so it's really nice to get lapis back.
Is it a gemstone that you're drawn
I love
to?
it.
Yeah.
I mean,
what do you love about it?
I only use it with pyrite generally.
Okay.
Hence why we've gone with the gold feel. I just think they're such a perfect partnership. Why alter them? But
you're quite right. You've got the pyrite inclusions mirrored in the gemstone. That is just, it's.
But also, it's really high. Whatever you put it with, it's just so high end. I think lapis. I just think it's beautiful.
It's just that royal blue tone, isn't it? It just works, especially with gold, like you say, because the pyrite inclusions that you find in lapis lazuli are then mirrored in the metal work. It just works. That's the thing about it, isn't it? It absolutely works. Unfortunately, with this kit, we do provide you with gold-plated copper fining. So once again, a wholesale opportunity because you're getting 118 pieces. And this time, slight variation on the chain. So this is more of a traditional fine chain, isn't it? That you might associate with your top-end jewellery designers, I suppose. Absolutely gorgeous. So the actual links here are 3mm in size. You've also got your detailed slider clasp. You can see you've got the little floral slider clasp there and toggle clasp. You've got your ribbon cord endings. You've got 3 different kinds of head pins. You've got your fancy earring findings, your crimp bead covers, as well as your floral spacers. I love this because, once again, we've really gone to town with these kits. Can I say, Mark, do you inform the kits that you receive? Because obviously we're focused on chips and nicks here, or does all the product strategies just
it's
what you look like?
We get asked for anything that we've got in mind for designs and that sort of thing, and then we try to build the kits around.
Okay.
Or sometimes for design inspirations we tend to make our own kits.
Yes, of course.
But Pip had all the say in this kit, so I think it's done really well.
Well, the only reason I say that is because obviously we've got these teeth or nuggets, but we've also got the cords. So I just thought, did you have a hand in this? Gorgeous. This is like the Amethyst range, isn't it, here?
It's amazing.
So you've got the lavender, the more traditional amethyst purple, and then in the leatherette cord, it's a sort of like a mauve tone, isn't it?
It's beautiful.
It's a really rich colour. I mean, you could actually use these for masculine designs as well, because you've got that dynamic shape on the chips, haven't you? Yeah. You do get your traditional threading materials as well. So you've got your 50 metre beading thread, and I love the fact that we've given you that sort of 18 karat gold tone there, because it fits with the findings. You've got the monofilament. These would make great stretchy bracelets. You know, lots of people getting their kids involved in jewellery making over the holidays. Yeah.
And if we were talking about the memory wire bangles earlier, if you incorporate the long teeth with the ordinary chips on nuggets, you get a really full-on, heavy-duty bangle. It looks amazing. Yeah,
because I can imagine that. Really sort of busy design, sort of clustered.
That's right.
Like feel. Stunning, yeah, that's fantastic. Okay, these are flying out the door. How many did we start with? Over 100, wasn't it? 105 in total. So 30 kits already been allocated. We haven't even brought the price on the screen. And let's do it right now. $21.95 on the huge carat weights on these larger nuggets as well. In fact, your green agate, for example, you've got 380 carats. Very impressive.
Tones in that whole strand. I mean, if you're colour grading, I mean, it's perfect.
I actually love that about this strand, that zoning that you've got, because those variations are what provide you with, I suppose, different creative opportunities. And Louise has texted into the show to say, first Mark gets Sophie interested in macrame. Now he's got my son interested in kumahimo after seeing him using the disc. Oh, it's a...
I'm really pleased with how that came out.
Technologically aware. You know the typos people make. Yeah. So there you go. So you've got one little macrame on one side of the room and the other kumahimo. I think it's a fantastic thing to get people involved in. Oh, Dion's just bagged the earrings. Not so and the bracelet. She wants the matching bracelet as well. This is what it's like around here, although I can't say anything since I started to expand my collection of cufflinks recently. So
we've got that whole metre of chain, and all I used was for the earrings here. So I've used the satin cords and the suede for the backings of the necklaces, and that middle necklace with the lapis, that's beading thread, which I've plaited to get a really nice chain look.
Oh, that's such a high-end look that's been created. You see, I remember doing a show. I was just filling in for somebody was ill and they didn't turn up, and I was still the manager, and I said, I'll get a shirt and I'll present the show. And I remember coming up, and the text topic that we did was, because we're getting so many people saying, stop sending me reels of beading thread. And the text topic was, what else could you do with beading thread, trying to give people suggestions. But now that we've started to think outside the box, started to expand the way we use even the most fundamental items, I mean, that looks so high end.
And it's just straightforward 3-strand plaiting, as you would have.
Even I can do that.
Yeah, that's all that is.
Daughter's hair.
That's all that is, and it's exquisite.
Oh, I'm a very hands-on dad, Ollie. Right? Don't worry about that. I blow dry hair on a Sunday night, put it in a plait.
There's an amazing little. It's only about 30 seconds on a video watching site with a dad putting his child's hair in a ponytail. I think it's the most amazing thing with the Hoover. It's just fantastic.
Oh, that's a good idea, actually.
You get the nozzle and you put the hairband on the nozzle, and then you suck up the hair. And then
I can already see how well. I'm definitely going to do this.
It's brilliant. It's absolutely amazing.
I don't really like hair, so this is a great suggestion. No. Okay, we have had a text message, haven't we? It's come in from James in Angus. It says, if Mark has time, could he tell me how to set my stall to stop things getting stolen? That's a good point, actually. I never thought about shoplifters, but actually it is the kind of venue that would lend itself.
What I was going to mention to you earlier is on Friday, Lucy and I are doing a designer inspiration special.
Right.
And it's a 50-50 split. The first half is going to be a macrame surgery, so people can text in to get demos and how to finish off macrame and that sort of thing. And the second half is for people to text in their questions regarding craft fairs. We won't be touching on insurance policies and all that sort of thing, but it'll be setting up your table, stopping thefts, all the basic fundamental things you need for setting up craft fairs, how to find them, set your stall up. So that'll be happening on Friday on the Designer Inspiration Show with Lucy. So
okay, so that's great. And of course, the Designer Inspiration shows are all uploaded to YouTube, and so even if you're not around on Friday afternoon, you will still have the opportunity to see that. That's fantastic, actually. So we'll cover all those kind of things on Friday. And of course, if you do want to take that on to the next level and learn more extensive business techniques and how to elevate your hobby into a small business, you could actually attend our Business Academy workshop, which is actually being run today by the lovely Angela Edwards. You can see there's all the ladies, but I have to say, in that particular workshop, they are quite studious, because of course they're trying to become the business women that are all women, just so before I get in trouble. Yeah, I actually got kicked out of that workshop the last time they were doing it, because I was talking so much that Angela was like, I'm not being funny, Ed, but can you get out? We've got a lot to get through. What was that, Mark? You were thinking that's what I thought last time. But
no, I've been kicked out of it. Oh,
you've been kicked out of it as well? Yes, okay, we are now approaching over half the stock being allocated. So let's have a think about which of our demos we're doing.
Well, we mentioned this on the last show I was on. I'm going to show the viewers how to make beads out of the suedette cord.
Oh, really? Oh, this is fantastic.
And it's a variation of the slip knot, which features on the Macrame Edition 2 DVD, I believe. So I'm just going to show you a quick way of making leatherette beads. It's really, really simple.
And I suppose if you use a threading material in this way, it does bring more...
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I mean, if I give you these three, you can hold tiny
these
little...
These are fantastic.
They're ace, aren't they?
Yeah. And I imagine not a great deal of work. I mean,
no,
let's see.
Minimum of work. So I'll show you how to do it. I've made one here on the beading thread on the overhead here. So we'll show you on the beading thread and then quickly on the wire. So what you're going to need, minimum of 6-inch piece of suedette. You can do this with satin, you can do this with hemp, any material you've got.
Okay.
So what we're going to do, and I don't know if the best way of seeing this on the camera is quite fiddly, is we're going to hold the beading thread in our left hand. We're going to place the material we're going to use as our bead on the top, about 2 inches. Okay. Then we're going to take the longer section and we're going to fold it over across. So in effect, we've got a loop on the right hand side, and then we've got a short tail and a long tail. Swap hands, so at the moment we're in our left hand, we're going to swap onto our right, and we're going to take the long tail and we're going to take it away from us once. Then we're going to swap hands again, and then we're going to fold the tail at least 6 times over your beading thread and your loop. So it's a bit fiddly to begin with, but I think I did about 50 on that necklace altogether. So by the end of it, I got the hang of it, because they're all incorporated into the beading as well.
You're one of these people, aren't you, that once you get into a rhythm, once you get momentum, you can just carry on. You get a bit like
I love it.
Machine-like with your production skills.
So when you're left with a little tail about 1 inch long, we pass it back through the original loop that we've got. Okay. Now, keeping hold of the left-hand tail, we pull the right-hand tail, and at the moment that looks pretty shocking. It's just a jumbled mess.
Right.
Okay. So you let go of the right-hand little tail, and you want to grab the piece of concertinaed up thread, keeping hold of
the left side.
The left side. So what we do is we give it, as you can see on camera, is we go in and we pull it like so. Okay. And then we go back to the right-hand side, and we pull the right little tail.
That is pretty cool.
And then the left-hand tail, like so, and then the right-hand tail, till we're happy with our bead shape. Okay, like so. So what we've got now is the left-hand thread is encased inside the knots, and the right-hand tail is encased in the knots. So at this point, we can then, now this is another little tip. I just got my cutters. If you wanted to do a bracelet on beading thread of maybe 15 of these little sections and cut off the tails, leaving 1 inch, once you concertina them all up together, especially if you've got any of the grey or black, it looks like you've got a bracelet made of barbed wire.
That's amazing.
So for gents jewellery, it looks
I was just thinking, fantastic. I really want one of them.
No, it looks awesome. Especially
That's
if you just,
a great
you need
idea.
to see what that looks like in your visage.
I can already
So if you've got the grey satin or the grey leather or anything like that, you can make an amazing barbed wire bracelet.
You could even, I think on those bits, you could cut them.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
Just a slightly sharp angle, just to give
That's
it even more of a dynamic. That'd look amazing. Oh, I really want.
What we're going to do for this
design
is we just cut off the tails, because everything's encased, so that's all in there nice and tidy and put away. and then that's your bead. You slide along. Wherever you want it positioned, you put beads in between.
That's
and
fantastic.
all I've done with these is I've done exactly the same thing with the wire. And I've just made little ring loops either end and wire wrapped. So that's why we can incorporate it in sari silks.
You can actually use them as connectors, couldn't you?
Connectors, all sorts of things. But that's the basic. So it's in effect a slip knot that you use when you're making gents jewellery for bracelets and ear necklaces. If you leave the tails about 1 inch, you can make a barbed wire bracelet, maybe between 15 and 20 little sections, or you can make the little metal sections.
That's a fantastic technique because it's actually an interesting textured bead to put into your designs, but also saving you money because you haven't got to use your genuine gemstones.
In that necklace, because you can see that as I said, there's probably about 50 in amongst the necklace, but you don't use as many beads. You've got a nice purple interest in between all the colours, and there are so many colours that we've got at the moment. And
mixed medium pieces are really popular at the moment as well. So to have the 2 different materials on the neckline, that would be fantastic.
And then I've done to finish it is use the satin cord mixed colours to do a braid with a bow at the back. So there's not even a clasp. This is just a simple bow.
So that's good if you know there's a lot of jewellery makers out there who potentially have dexterity problems, struggle with the clasps. This is a great way to do it. And actually, I know I'm going to sound like a bit of a fashionista again, but on the high street, you don't see a lot of clasps at the moment. It's all lengths of ribbon or cords. These are quite on trend, these
ribbon's massive at the moment.
Yeah, ribbon. Quite chunky. Well, they're not gemstones actually, they're usually faux. And then on a piece of the length of ribbon. So yeah, fantastic design, very on trend and very gem heavy. So potentially you're actually offering your customers something that they won't necessarily be able to buy, certainly from the department stores. $21.95, and as you can see, we are approaching limited availability. Probably got 15 of these placed in baskets as well, so make sure you check out to avoid disappointment. Janine has texted in. It says, I was looking through my husband's book on knots, as he is a boys brigade officer last night, and I'm going to use some of them in my jewellery.
Brilliant.
Top tip. I bet you can probably find all of those online anyway.
There's one that I'm learning at the moment called, it doesn't sound very pleasant, but it's called monkey's fist. And you start off making a knot, and you actually encase a bead inside it, and then so you can use all the and then encase
it. Exposed.
It looks like a football. It looks amazing. So I'm learning that at the moment. But that's in a general knot book. That's a brilliant idea.
There you go. Good advice then. Nicola has texted in saying, "Hi Mark, your jewellery making is great. How much would you charge for one of your necklaces?"
Gosh.
So shall we focus on the one that we've just...
£40 for that one.
£40 for that, but it is very gem heavy as well.
Yeah, and it took a lot of time to do all the bits and pieces.
Make all of the beads,
The lapis will probably be about 30. Okay. If it was a gold, if it was solid gold or sterling silver, you'd charge a bit more, and then maybe 25 for the other one.
Well, what kind of difference is there between using a base vessel?
£5.
So £5. So £30 for this design, but if you wanted it in yellow gold plated
up
silver,
to the proper, it's £5. Obviously, I haven't been able to find solid gold findings, but sterling silver, it's a £5 extra.
I can imagine it'd be difficult to source those. As we said, we've been talking about this recently. Actually, the price of gold and the difficulty we're having in sourcing new deposits. So yeah, I can see that being a bit of a struggle. We're now going to move over to the Wall of Fame and see what you've been creating. Welcome back to JewelleryMaker. Time now for the Wall of Fame, your opportunity to have your design displayed on the big screen. This is really quite a professional layout as well here. This is number 333. It says, "Hi, it's been a while since I sent in my last Wall of Fame entries. I've been busy with other things, but I've started to get a bit more time to spend on my fab hobby. This isn't strictly jewellery, but most things are bought from JM. The hole punch, the metal stamps, etc. And I made this for a friend who's just had a baby boy. I've stamped onto aluminium hearts the baby's name, date of birth, weight, plus hand and footprint, which I then put into a frame. I hope this makes the Wall of Fame." This has been sent in from Karen in Manchester. I have to say,
beautiful.
For me, this is exactly what jewellery making's all about, because you know there's something very sentimental about that. Somebody's been able to keep that forever. And you know, it's so personal, yet quite simple crafting techniques.
You can see this being done at a craft fair, can't you?
Absolutely.
Bespoke there and then.
I am the biggest advocate of metal stamping at craft fairs. I think it offers you so many unique selling points to your customers. You can personalise the jewellery, which of course allows you to create individual and bespoke designs, but also it's noisy. So you attract attention to your store.
No,
somebody's going to be walking in there and thinking, what is going on over there? Who is hammering?
No, that's right.
That's going to attract attention to your designs.
Fantastic.
That's fantastic,
Beautiful.
by the way, yes.
Okay, next one I have this morning is number 331, and this is from Amanda in Dartford. And Amanda says, "Hi everyone, I've just started making my own jewellery and thought I would send in a picture for the Wall of Fame. I've made this necklace and earrings to match from Apatite and Hessonite Garnet." Gosh, that's Thank you for all your great products.
I think the colour contrast here. This has been sent in by Tricia, and it says, "Dear JM, please find attached my entry for this week's Wall of Fame. I made this necklace and bracelet set using bright blue baroque pearls and black agate faceted rounds. I hope you like it." I absolutely love it. It's a great contrast, isn't it?
I love that as well. Beautiful.
Electric blues and blacks. You're number 334, so congratulations.
This is down your street, isn't it? Look.
I love it. Perfect. It's about all I can do, in fact.
Next up is 332, and this is from Sophie. And Sophie says, "Here is the entry for this week's Wall of Fame. It's a silver chainmail bracelet, which I'm rather impressed with, as it's my very first attempt." Can't believe that's amazing. Thank
Much
you all.
better than my first attempt.
And that's from Sophie Howard, and that's number 332.
Brilliant. The final set here, again.
Wow.
Very high-end feel to this jewellery design. This has been sent in by Anne-Marie. It says, "Hi all at JM. This week's Wall of Fame entry comes about after a friend asked me to make some jewellery using her favourite colour of purple. It also had to be simple to wear." Oh, this is quite a specific brief you've been given then. This is fantastic as a commission. "So this is a selection that I've made for her to choose from. Some earrings, necklace and bracelets for her to look at. All the items were made from my stash, all of which were purchased from you wonderful people at JM." So there you go.
That's all going to be snapped up, isn't it?
She's going to buy it all, isn't she?
Yeah.
She's not going to be able to choose between them, and you're going to
it's amazing.
Make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sales, I guess, there. That is a fantastic way to work, and of course this is how people start to turn their hobby into a business, because somebody approaches you usually, especially when they see you wearing a bespoke piece and they say, "Oh, where'd you get that?" It becomes a real talking point, doesn't it? Fantastic hobby for that very reason. You're number 335, Anne-Marie, so thanks for sending that in. You have been entered into the draw. Good luck to all who have entered their Wall of Fame entries, and it will be drawn tomorrow at around about midday. You could win £50 if you're the runner-up, or £100 if you are the winner, added to your JewelleryMaker account. Now we're going to go to a quick break. When we return, we're going to give you the third opportunity of the big four this morning, because we've already bought you emeralds and sapphires, but this time we're going right to the top end of the spectrum in terms of quality here. Beautiful red rubies, undeniably red rubies, faceted to perfection, and it's coming up in just a couple of minutes time. Don't go away.
When shopping with JewelleryMaker, you can add as many items to your order in one day and only pay one postage and packaging charge. We have 2 delivery options. Standard delivery at just £2.95 and you'll receive your parcel within 4 to 6 days. Or opt for our premium delivery at just £4.95 and you'll receive your parcel within 3 to 4 days. Happy shopping with JewelleryMaker. Did you know you can purchase incredible jewellery featuring genuine gemstones on our sister channel Gems? Come along and see what treasures you can find.
Join guest designer Karen Crawford for our Talk Necklaces DVD. Karen will guide you through a number of techniques, including how to design free-form pieces, how to make structured necklaces, adding weave. To get your hands on a copy, contact our call centre. Get creative with JewelleryMaker. Owning a strand of genuine gemstones is always exciting, But being able to use it in your handcrafted jewellery, then passing it on to its new owner with proof of its authenticity is even more incredible. Why not add one of our printed authenticity cards to your order for just 50p and share that same feeling with your customers? You can also access online authenticity certificates for items you have previously ordered by looking at your order history on your account details. The certificate gives you valuable information about your purchase and is your guarantee of quality and peace of mind from the Genuine Gemstone Company. Do you have a question that you need answering?
Well, did you know you can ask to speak to an accredited jewellery professional in our call centre?
Trained by the GIA, you can ask us any gemological question and we'll do our best to help.
We don't just sell gemstones, we know gemstones.
That's why when you buy from us, you're buying with confidence. Buy your genuine gemstones from genuine accredited jewellery professionals. Tune into The Late Show on Sunday the 24th of August for our Myths and Legends show. Join presenter Ali and guest designer Mark as they focus on the history of gemstones and tell some of the legendary stories that surround some of the world's most precious gems. We've teamed up with some great crafting magazines to offer our customers an exclusive promotion. From the 18th to the 22nd of August, we're giving you the chance to take up a 6-issue subscription to any of the following titles from just $19.99. That's a saving of up to 44%. Take your pick from Crafts Beautiful, Sew, Homemaker, Let's Knit, Make and Sell Jewellery, Paper Crafter or Let's Get Crafting. Simply go to the website or call 01795 414 964 and quote the discount code JMOffer. Terms and conditions apply. Please see the website for further details.
Welcome back to JewelleryMaker. Time now for probably our most luxurious launch of the morning. Beautiful rich red rubies here. These are like cherry red. This is the colour tone that you associate with this gemstone. Of course, here at JewelleryMaker, we do focus on being able to provide you with a range of opportunities for each gemstone, and we've seen the rough cut nuggets of ruby, for example, but this is probably, if it's not the best, it's equal to the best strand of ruby we've ever had here at JewelleryMaker. And I mean, you wouldn't have too many complaints if you saw this set into 9 karat gold on our sister channel Gems TV. Gorgeous saturation of colour, beautifully faceted, so you get that traditional sparkle, and pretty healthy carat weight as well. 15 carats of rich red rubies here. Now, of course, we know that this gemstone is particularly prestigious, often used as the focal point of, well, imperial collections of jewellery the world over, and it's also a birthstone. So this is actually July's birthstone. Of course, we know that, you know, you need to invest in your birthstones all year round, not just for birthdays, but if any time you're creating a gift for somebody, if you do make it personal by using their birthstone, it's gonna, I suppose, show them that you've been thinking about them. And when it's rubies, you can't go wrong. I don't think you need to rely on the birthstone status with the big four, really. I think everybody wants to get them into their collection anyway, don't they? Emeralds, rubies, sapphires and diamonds are the traditional big four within the industry. I mean, the intensity of the colour tone here, I was trying to think of ways I can describe it, and I suppose the description is that they're ruby reds, aren't they?
I thought you were going to use that other description.
No, I wasn't. I know you don't like it, and it's not particularly romantic. It is an industry term, but let's move away from it, because in all honesty, we don't really need adjectives to describe this colour tone, because it's synonymous with the gemstone. It's probably the best reflection of red is a ruby red, I suppose. So you can't go wrong. with the gemstone itself. And as I say, we have seen fantastic improvements in the quality of the gemstones. They weren't too bad to start, if I'm honest with you, but as we've become, I hate this word, but as we've become sort of players in the industry, if you like, or just the fact that we're better known, if you like, people are now actively searching us out. They want to work with us, they want to provide us with gemstones, they want to be associated with our brand now, and so they're not just competitive in terms of the prices that they're offering us, they're also becoming a little competitive in terms of the quality that they offer us as well. And that can only be a good thing, not just for a jewellery maker, but for all of the jewellery makers out there, because it actually sort of sets the benchmark a little bit higher, doesn't it? So we know we're always going to be able to source the highest possible quality of these luxurious gemstones. 15 carats of gorgeous ruby here. And I've already got lots of people coming through at JewelleryMaker.com. People are texting in already to talk about how incredible this strand is. Kimberly says that she's speechless because these are so amazing. Start dialing that free phone number. In fact, you know what? The quality of this ruby is at such a level that I can understand why people do use the Gems of Distinction range. This is our elite range of gemstones, to actually create their own personal collection of gemstones. So, you know, people saying they have no intention of ever taking the tassels off these strands. I was talking the other day, saying that one of our customers texted in to say she now owns over 400 strands to the Gems of Distinction range. Very, very impressive. We are going to be able to offer you an exclusive launch price this morning, so if maybe you've always longed to add ruby to your collection, you never thought you'd be able to own it for an affordable price point, now is your opportunity. Start dialing that free phone number. Our launch price this morning is just $34.95 for 15 carats of gorgeous ruby. This has been faceted to perfection. It draws those rich cherry red tones from the centre of the gemstone and allows that play of light on the surface so that you get that traditional sparkle, or rather luster with this, and that is due to the saturation of the colour. And you've got that very slight purple hue emanating from the centre of the gemstone. Actually, the rubies that gain the highest valuations do usually contain that purple hue as well as the red, so it's not necessarily that sort of glacier cherry red that you want for the very, very highest valuation possible. You do want to see that purple hue. And shall I do my science bit on ruby? I've shared this with Mark before. The idea is that you should set ruby into yellow gold because you want to maximise on the reds and the purples, and the only colour in between red and purple on a traditional colour wheel is blue, and you traditionally neutralise blue by using yellow. So if you set rubies into yellow gold, then you draw out the reds and purples by neutralising the other colour tone in between those, which would be blue. It does make perfect sense, and I'm sure there's a lot of jewellery makers out there who like to work in that way. I mean, some people are going to probably use these in quite exotic designs, I imagine, especially if you're getting high-end commissions. I mean, can you imagine sitting down with a friend or relative who's giving you a personal commission, like we just heard about on the Wall of Fame, and saying, well, would you like me to create some ruby jewellery for you? I think all of a sudden they're going to realise the kind of level you're working on. And also, I suppose if you're working with, you know, world-renowned gemstones like ruby of this quality, people will expect to pay a premium for your jewellery designs. I get the impression from a lot of jewellery makers that they're apprehensive about actually, you know, demanding certain price points for their jewellery designs, but you don't, you know, you have to factor in the time it takes you, the creativity that you're putting into the design, but also the quality of the gemstones that you're working with. Nobody needs to know that you've purchased 15 carats at a wholesale price of $34.95. All they need to know is they are getting genuine rubies of this quality, and that would demand a high price point. On the high street, can you imagine what you'd be paying for one of the big four? You only need to use a few of these to make a huge impact, I would have thought.
I attend quite a few craft fairs, and I can hand on heart honestly say that I've never encountered any other store that has any of the big four on.
Right.
Maybe topaz and,
Yes,
and
and
pearls at a
amethyst and
push,
pearls,
but
yeah.
I've never seen ruby or tanzanite or emeralds on any other store.
Right. So there you go. That's when you're actually selling at the craft fairs, you mean?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So
that's
so
what we
you're
should be
instantly
pushing.
setting yourself apart
Yeah,
from all of the other
absolutely.
crafters in the room because
That's
you
right.
have the most prestigious gemstones on the planet within your jewellery collections.
Yeah.
There you go then. Laura's texted in to say, hi Ed and Mark, OMG. Oh my goodness. This ruby strand is absolutely beautiful. I would make it into a simple bracelet as I'm a beginner jewellery maker. Love the show. Do you know what? I think Laura's actually correct. With a gemstone like this, you need to allow the gemstone to do the talking.
Yep,
so keep the
absolutely.
design simple. $34.95, as I say, for probably some of the highest quality ruby we've ever had here at JewelleryMaker. Certainly equal to, I would say. $34.95, very, very impressive. We are going to move on. And we're going to give you another wholesale findings deal. So this is quite cool this morning because we're giving you one incredible deal on gemstones and then we're matching it up with the findings. In fact, I'll tell you what, match made in heaven. Yellow gold butterfly posts and backs, and all you really need is a couple of your beautiful rubies on that, and you've got a very, very high-end offering here, haven't you? These are gold-plated findings. Once again, the base metal is copper. And actually, I suppose for more intricate wire workers, it's sometimes useful to have that base metal if you are going to create sort of, you know, more intricate designs to attach to this loop. You might want to be working with the base metal, of course, because it can prove to be a little more robust than the precious metals. You still get that very, very high-end finish, once again from the gold plating, and they're the same size as the rose gold variety. You've got your 13mm post and your butterfly back, which is 4x2mm in size. You get 50 pairs once again, so a genuine wholesale opportunity, a great way for you to expand your findings collection and in turn create a larger range of earring designs, which could be very useful if you are intending to maybe frequent the Christmas craft fairs this year. If you want to get involved, start dialing that free phone number right now. Gold-plated copper earring posts, the rose gold variety, flew out the door, and we've given you the price point, $14.95 this morning for 50 pairs. Look at this. They're just fantastic, aren't they, as well, because they're a very traditional look, I suppose. So when you're offering people the same kind of items that they see on the high street, I imagine that just puts their minds at ease. Some people might, you know, they might have just been dragged along to a village hall on a Saturday morning. They might not really have any intention of spending money until they see your designs. Of course, there is a level of salesmanship involved in selling your own jewellery designs, and you have to, you know, sometimes maybe justify the price point that you want to sell. But I think if you're working with very traditional finds, you're creating looks that people are, you know, more comfortable with, then it's more likely to lead to sales. And of course, if you're working with your gold-plated copper findings, you can actually create very affordable pieces. You're far more likely, I would say, in some of the regional craft fairs to be able to convince somebody to maybe buy a £5 pair of earrings than to invest £150 in a statement wirework torque necklace, because, you know,
you're right,
I mean, it's just obvious, isn't it, really? And when you're getting 50 pairs for £15, you're laughing, aren't you? £5 for a pair of earrings does not sound like a high price point to me. And of course, here you've got the best of both worlds, because you've got the high-end finish and you've got the base metal. 50 pairs in total for the wholesale price point of $14.95. We'll leave that on with you. Congratulations if you're getting involved. And we're now going to take a look at this design now. I've been waxing lyrical about this in the break.
Okay.
To run in and show producer D. I knew she'd fall in love with it just like I have. Now, we challenged Mark at the start of the show, and bearing in mind we've already seen 2 jewellery demonstrations and I've been bothering him every couple of minutes as well, he's still managed to create a hugely impressive jewellery design. This is spectacular, and actually just by removing that colour tone, look at this. Now this has been created using 2 of the Pyrite strands that were offered to you earlier on in the show. This was our Pyrite trio, 3 for the price of 2. So you can buy these 2 strands and then you get your sort of lime green Pyrite for free as part of this bundle potentially. I love the combination here, and the rose gold on your design has really brought these 2 colour tones together, hasn't it?
I'm really pleased with it. I love it. Love it.
Actually, I'm just thinking it's almost like the 2 colour tones on the end. In fact, if I duck down, it's hidden. It's like those 2 colours almost, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Just realised, typical. The one colour I want to show you, there's a big black line down the middle of it. Yeah, so you've got this sort of dusky lavender tone on one of them, and then you've got this really provides you with over 1 metre of pyrite, because all of the strands are 36 centimetres in length, 60 carats on each strand. Gorgeous colour tones here, because I think traditionally with pyrite you're looking for that slight variation in the look. You want that metallic shimmer, and when you've got these slightly off colours, if you like, so I say this is slightly deeper than a peridot green, this is slightly deeper than a lavender amethyst, and this is almost like a rhodolite garnet-like tone. So there's slight variations to the traditional colour tones you expect to see within more traditional gemstones like your amethyst, your peridot, your garnet, and these will work perfectly. But actually, you don't even need to accent other gemstones in the designs. Mark's got a suggestion.
Well, this is, remember Kimberly from earlier?
Yes,
she was talking about Prue's necklace, which this is a variation of. And Kimberly said that she used 400 beads for the necklace.
Right.
And for this one here, I mean, it doesn't go all the way around, but I mean, there's enough showing there.
Yep.
I did eight beading thread cores with 30 on each, so that's 240 beads to produce that necklace. So if Kimberly was wondering when we would be getting the spacer beads in, I mean, this is an amazing deal to be doing that sort of work with, when you can use beading thread to get all those stones on.
There you go, perfect. So between Dee and Mark, they've provided you with the perfect solution there, because the value on this bundle is incredible. As I say, 3 for the price of 2, and of course it suits so many different gemstones as well. So in terms of being a spacer bead, if that's how you want to use it, it's going to go with all the traditional gemstones.
Of the 8 beading threads that I used on the disc, I beaded every single one of them. You can, if you wanted to, just bead 4 out of the 8, and you get the same sort of spiral effect, and you'd only need to use half of the stones.
I was going to say.
So you could use one colour, you could do 3 separate colour schemes, you could do a necklace, bracelet, spiral earrings, so you can make a whole set out of one of those strands.
It's just spectacular, isn't it? And obviously, because of the size of the gemstone, it does lend itself to a number of these different disciplines. Micro, macrame, yakuma, hemo. It's absolutely perfect. So, proving to be very, very popular, and basically, buy 2, get 1 free. Quite a traditional bargain deal, I suppose. So that's just one of the pieces that Mark's created on his challenge. We will be revisiting Mark's challenge later on in the show, probably towards the end of the show. We're going to move on though. Really? Wow. So, we've brought you a number of opportunities to add the organic cuts to your order this morning in terms of the finer chips and nuggets. Obviously, these have been differentiated because Mark's described them as teeth. They're basically your larger nuggets, so they offer you more of an impact in your designs, and I think with the smaller chips, they provide you with a lot of texture, but they don't necessarily provide you with the same drama, the same dynamic that you get from these larger nuggets. They are very impressive, actually. Do you know what? I've seen the wirework flowers create great effect using these. They're fantastic.
There's an amazing piece that Rachel Norris did.
Yes.
Quite a while ago now, but I always remember that. It was just beautiful.
Me too.
And that was using these particular shape of
nuggets. There's a big impact from that particular design. It's made an impact because we both remember it. Yeah, exactly. So you do get a very dramatic finish from these, as you can see, lending themselves again to a number of different disciplines. Fantastic in your wirework pieces. But I have to say, if you are looking for an organic feel or a dynamic edge to your designs, this, for me, is the way to go, especially because you can obviously include larger carat weights because they're much more affordable. Here, you've got your red tiger's eye, giving you 350 carats of tiger's eye. I love the red tiger's eye because the optical effect is a little more subtle. I always think you can see that. So on the face of it, you've got this, it almost looks jet black. It's more like a sort of red wine tone, and then as you tilt it back, you've got those rose pink, almost like a cat's eye style effect. It's known as chatoyancy. So really interesting gemstone, perfect again for your autumn designs. Sorry, Paula. As we move past the autumn designs and we move towards the C word, crimbo, these would be perfect, wouldn't they? If you wanted to maybe create little sort of holly leaves, something like that, I'm thinking.
That's Amazonite, isn't it?
Say again?
That's Amazonite.
Yeah, but
that
a much richer colour tone,
Gosh,
yes.
Look at that.
So
amazing.
we normally think of Amazonite as offering you more of a pastel tone, wouldn't we? A bit more fresh, but this is quite a rich forest. It's almost the same as the colour we saw on the onyx.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking it was at the beginning. Gosh, it's beautiful. It's
absolutely fantastic. Almost looks like more like the Peruvian Amazonite that tends to be a richer colour tone. 200 carats of Amazonite on that particular strand, and once again, great combination.
How often do we see rhodochrosite now?
Hardly ever. Very, very rare. We used to actually have it a bit more often, didn't we? Yeah. Obviously, we haven't been finding quite the same yields in terms of the deposits we've been sourcing. I don't know that 100%, by the way. I'm just guessing based on the fact that we don't see it as often here on the show. So that's just a suggestion, don't quote me on it. Maybe there's huge amounts of rhodochrosite available, but we certainly don't have it as often as we'd like here on JewelleryMaker. Over 300 carats on this particular strand. Great variation in your sizes there. They range from 9x3 to 16x6, and this is hugely impressive because I instantly know what the gemstone is. It hasn't gained the classification I was expecting it to, because when I'm looking down, I'm seeing the neon blues from this apatite. I suppose every single gemstone would have to show that neon hue for it to gain that classification, but you're certainly getting some. There you go, look. This is almost glowing, even in our studio lights, some of these. So you've definitely got that impact, that electric blue glow that you normally associate with neon blue apatite. This has been classified as your standard apatite, but there's definitely a little bit of neon in there. And then you've got this gorgeous strand of blue chalcedony, for me, emulating the blue lace agate, which is so sought after. So many jewellery makers. That gorgeous, very subtle, but very dramatic leaves lapping up on the beach. That's the great thing about working with genuine gemstones, because no two are ever going to be identical. It tends to evoke different imagery to the individual, whereas if you're working with a machine-created synthetic, they are all going to look uniformly the same. It doesn't have quite the same sort of mystique attached to it, if you like.
No, that's right.
That's why I love working with genuine gemstones anyway. And also, the reason I love this particular strand is it's offering you a different variation. You've got the softer tone, and you've also got the softer cut. You've got this polished effect. They're almost like little pebbles, if you like. We're already down to double figures of availability. You can see how quickly they're flying out the door, and this is the way to do it. I have an experienced jewellery maker like Linda just come through to take 4 of these bundles. Wow. $12.95. I mean, these aren't the delicate chips. These are larger nuggets, you can see. Wow. Mark's annoyance. Mark, is your slight irritation there, does it come from the idea that this could be construed as devaluing genuine gemstones?
Oh no, I don't think we ever do that. No, intentionally.
I just, that's what my concern.
I remember when we first started getting apatite.
Back during the war.
During the war. And as we've already spoken about rhodochrosite, how regularly do we get that? But it's the Amazonite that's done it for me with that bundle. It's so rich. It's Russian Amazonite, isn't it, when it's that colour, I think?
Yes. So these very slight variations in the location give you that richer colour tone and almost open up a whole new world of design, because people in their minds will have that traditional association. You know what you're talking about with sapphire earlier?
That's right.
Traditionally thinking of the blues. Here you'd be thinking of those sort of minty greens, but because it's got that, well, it's almost a forest green really, isn't it? I don't know why I've got holly leaves in my head. Is it because it's next to the red tiger's eye maybe?
Yeah.
I definitely think, because you've already got the angles. So it's only simple wire work, isn't it, really? And you don't need loads of them to create. I know there's loads of people already working on ornamental pieces for the end of the year, so some people are screaming at the TV, like, stop wishing my summer away. Others are thinking, oh, I'm going to do that, because I've seen somebody's already started to create a gemstone wreath. Don't put it on the front of your door.
No.
You're going to put 1,000 carats of gemstones on there. You can see now how quickly these are flying out the door. $12.95. Very, very impressive gemstones here. So $12.95 item. We have had a question. It's coming from Susan. It says, "Hi to my most favourite men on JM." We're the only men on JM. That's my pearls. Is that quite a tricky subject? I don't know specifically, but if Mark doesn't have the definitive answer, I can point you in the right direction, because I have a couple of ladies here, our resident designers, Linda and Sheila, who are obsessed with pearl jewellery. Of course, Sheila leads the bridal and vintage workshops, and if anybody saw Linda's pearl jewellery last Sunday, you'll know this is their area of focus. So you can contact them via Facebook. I think they are JM resident designer, Linda and Sheila. You can put your question direct to them, but do you have any ideas on that one, Mark, at all?
I had a look at the keshi pearls earlier, because I've mentioned this quite a few times on the show, that pearls are drilled differently to gemstones.
Yes.
Our round gemstones are drilled in opposite directions, so you get the same entrance and exit holes. With pearls, because they don't want to ruin it, they don't want to damage the pearls, they drill in until they just pierce the outside, and then they withdraw and they pull back again.
Yes, exactly.
So if you've got a bead reamer in your toolkit at home, just give it a little ream with your bead reamer, and the Eslon.
Yes.
Which is fantastic. I'm a massive advocate of Eslon. I've had it in my kit for the first time last week.
Oh, really?
It was the best thing ever.
That was a little treat.
Yeah, so Eslon, it comes in so many different colours as well. So
strong as well, despite the fact that it's very fine.
Yeah, and it makes really, really firm knots as well. So Eslon thread for me, without a doubt.
There you go. So Eslon thread, that might be a suggestion. Or if you are looking for alternatives, as I say, our resident designers are very drawn towards pearls, I would say, for their boutique bundles. And yes, director Ollie, give yourself a pat on the back. He instantly said, well, won't the Eslon cord work? So there you go, you can see. You can just see how contagious this crafting malarkey is, can't you? We are going to move straight back over to Mark, is that right? Woohoo! So you can see there how quickly these bundles are selling out this morning. And I think it's partly because I know that I'm going to get myself in hot water with a lot of designers, but I do always think, not just you know, your story of how you get into jewellery making is very inspirational, but I find your approach to different techniques quite inspirational. So I think maybe you're turning people on to these organic cuts this morning. Well,
I hope so. I mean, they're my favourite. I mean, I'm a massive fan of macrame, don't get me wrong, but if I had to choose, it would be chips and nuggets.
Chips and nuggets, really.
Yeah, absolutely.
I suppose macrame is the other end of the spectrum, because you need a very uniformed round, well, traditionally you use a uniformed round for those braiding techniques. So.
Although we do use chips and nuggets in macrame.
I have seen in your macrame workshop people using the organic cuts as well. I suppose when people learn, though, they associate it with the rounds, don't they?
Rounds,
That's quite good, though, isn't it, to have two disciplines that are completely separate. I know that you have incorporated these, but they do give you that.
That's right.
It's nice to, I suppose, have different strings to your bow, if you like, because, you know, if one day you're in a macrame mood, one day you're in a chips and nuggets mood, and you get to maybe.
There's so many different things. I mean, you remember this time? No, it's more than that. It's about 18 months ago now. It's last Christmas gone. So wow. 2 Christmases ago, I vowed that I would learn a different technique every month.
I remember
April last year was Viking weave, and it's still sat there in its little packet. Still
I remember actually, because you said I'm going to get a DVD every month.
That's it, absolutely. That's right.
There you go. During the war.
During the war.
This is our third kit of the morning, and if you have just joined us, you should know that the previous 2 kits were very, very quick sellers. I think the first one, which had over 150 in stock, sold out before we'd even completed the demonstration. The second one, I think there's about 15 remaining in stock. We had over 100 of those as well, so you can see how quickly these kits are selling out this morning, partly because of Mark's fantastic inspiration, but also they're all in cahoots. I have no idea about the price point in this one because this is the one that Dee was pricing up. Do you really? Director Ollie knows as well. All right, let's get through this quick. I want to know now. Everybody's getting excited. Everybody shopping on the web already knows. Everybody knows before me. Oh right. Director all cocky, saying I know the price, but he's just been told no, you don't actually. It's lower than you think. He was already excited. Okay, this is intriguing. I'm into this. I like this. Now, I'm going to say something, and I think Mark's going to give me in trouble for not being particularly romantic, but looking at this sort of speckled-like banding on this, they look like jelly beans.
They do, actually. No, you're right. No, that's good.
Yeah, you like that?
Yeah, I like that. Yes, yes.
They look identical to, you know, when you get those
the quite expensive
tubs of jelly beans, yes. They tend to be a Christmas gift from someone, don't they? Yeah. These are gorgeous, but also huge variation in the sizes here. So you'd normally expect them to be a little more uniform, but you've got some real statement sizes here, and this is all coming to you as part of this kit, which is going to a rather ridiculous price point. Everyone's teasing me. These are your ocean jasper style nuggets.
So what do you think I would do with that strand then?
Would you colour graduate that?
Funny that. I did. It's amazing how it turned out.
Oh, I've just seen the design.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not with it.
Amazing.
I better start getting with it, I suppose, because I've got to do this all again at 5 PM. And then have a look at this. Oh, these are really dramatic, aren't they?
They're stunning, aren't they?
From one angle, you've got that get a blast beautiful. Of sort of navy blue or green. Stunning. Wow, is this? It is. These are your. Oh, so do you know what it is? The reason I'm confused is because what we've got here is, I think, 2 dyeing processes being used on one strand of tiger's eye here, because on sometimes you've got the golden and the reds, and on others you've got the blues. So there you go. So that's a sort of multi-coloured strand of tiger's eye. I think it's intended to be the blue variety, but actually the colours have ran through. It's fantastic, isn't it? The chatoyancy is amazing, but yeah, a real sort of blend of the colour tones there. More design scope. Then you've got your Pyrite, almost sort of lavender light tones, but again it's broken up with this dramatic banding.
The last week on the show we had Pyrite cabochons. We had a pear drop and an oval. So if anyone managed to get those cabochons, to have a cabochon at the bottom and use this as the neck,
for the neckline, fantastic. Or the wrist line, yeah. Your apatite, again, you've got quite a rich colour tone here, almost an electric blue. I am seeing some neon.
They're massive.
Yeah, they are for apatite, aren't they? So you've got 140 carats of apatite. So a 4-strand kit here, but a huge amount of design scope because of the variations in the sizes, the shapes, the organic nature. And yeah, I'm really enamoured by that tiger's eye. It almost tricked me, yeah. I love that. I love that. Really organic. So those are the gems. And I have to say, very, very thin materials here. It's basically a little rainbow of threading materials. 50 metres on each reel. You've got red, green, gold, silver and purple. I mean, I know I've made a few references already, but pretty festive colour tones there. I mean, you could literally just put those away.
Our coloured beading thread is so popular at the moment. It's fantastic.
Well, especially now, macrameing with it, and Gemma's creating the flower designs using it. So we have started to expand the ideas and the concepts that we apply even to the most fundamental items, you know, traditionally. I mean, in the first year, all we did was classic beading designs, and so we're just threading onto that beading thread. You know, just takes a fresh pair of eyes to think, well, why don't you do this, or why don't you try this? And now the beading thread is as an integral part of jewellery making as any other item here at JewelleryMaker. You also get a wholesale deal on your findings as ever, 118 pieces, this time your silver plated copper. So again, you've got a metre of chain, 3 kinds of head pins, your ribbon cord endings, your crimp bead covers, your spacer beads, your toggle clasps, your shepherd hooks, and a partridge in a pear tree. So there you go, 118 pieces in total. You can see, how many of these did we start with? Wow, this is the highest quantity kit of the morning. And it's going to be the lowest price point. Why is everybody all grinning around the room? Oh, uh-oh. Naughty producer alert. She's just told me, actually, I've changed my mind. Mark doesn't know the price now either.
It's going lower than
what you thought. Is that scary? Is what you thought already scary?
I'll wait and see. Deal, and that's naughty.
Okay, so is this what she told you?
No.
This is the intended price.
Okay.
She's going even lower. How do you do it? Don't give us that, D. Don't play dumb now. We know you know how to crash prices, if anyone knows.
Oh my word.
$16.95 for all of this. That is absolutely ridiculous. When you see the designs that Mark's put together using this kit, something doesn't compute here.
How much is the beading thread normally then?
I was thinking that, actually. I wasn't even thinking, I mean, from here, what is it, sorry? Oh, we're just going to, you know, confirm to make sure we get the right price, but I'm pretty sure you're right. I mean, isn't that normally like a tenner?
I think it is.
Well, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. No, they're about 195, or are they?
Like that, I think.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Don't worry, we'll get the definitive price for you in a second. Well, actually, I'll tell you what. I've been doing research, looking at independent craft stores. If you wanted to get hold of 250 metres of beading thread at some of the independent craft stores, you could be paying about £200. I think actually if you were to invest in this normally, this just goes to highlight the competitive nature of our pricing. Normally you could get these for £7.95, but that means that you're getting all of your findings and all of your gemstones for £9.
You've got Pyrite in there as well, which we know how rare that is recently.
Very, very rare. And again, not a gemstone we can bring to you on a regular basis.
Gosh.
Oh, sorry, I misheard there. The findings are normally £7.95. So that means you get your rainbow beading thread and your 4 strands of gemstones for £9.
£9.
That's ridiculous in its own right, isn't it? Once again, we've got about 25, 30 people who've placed this in their baskets. You need to be checking out. We've got a queue on the phone lines. Actually, this is really, for me, achieving everything we hope to when we put a kit together, because it's perfect for people just starting their sort of crafting journey. But also, if you are an experienced jewellery maker and you want to add some of these very versatile gemstones and replenish all your stocks, it's perfect for that as well. It's $16.95. It's absolutely ridiculous. But
that necklace nearest to you there, which is an apatite choker, that's using the whole strand, and I've beaded with it and put the spacers from the findings kit in between, and that would probably be about £25, £30. I would sell that
so
for.
You could potentially double your money off one piece of jewellery.
Pyrite earrings, that would be £7.50, I would have thought, something like that.
Amazing. I mean, I suppose even these earrings, they're going to be £5, aren't they? Yeah. So even if you try to create a more affordable price range and you are able to offer earring designs for £5, I mean, they're not particularly time consuming. You've only used a minimal number of gemstones, so you can afford to be, you know, a little more competitive on that piece. But you only have to sell 3 pairs of earrings and you virtually made your money back. I
mean, that middle set there, the earrings, necklace and bracelet, because there aren't that many gemstones in the necklace, so I think that whole set would be £40. And I think that would be a really popular price as well.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. You know, you've got your necklace, your bracelet and your earrings, so it's fantastic, isn't it?
Gosh.
This is just incredible. So which of our designs are we going to be having a look at?
I'm quickly going to show you how to make the little tassel on the necklace in the middle there.
Okay, cool.
And because they're top drilled, you'll have to do brûlée wrapping on the gemstones. You don't have to, but I think you get a more sort of high-end finished look if you do the brûlée wrapping. So on the board in front of me, I've got a selection of before, middles, and ends. So to start with, we use the featherweight head pins that we've got in the kit, which are fantastic for doing this sort of technique. And we thread one of the pins all the way through, and we just bend. I've done this a couple of times on the show, but it's such a nice little easy technique, like so. And then we get our flat nose pliers and we hold on to the two ends nice and tight, and we twist. So this is the tiara twist technique, or the brûlée wrap technique, like so. And what I've done is I've gone through the strand and I've taken the 10 largest and then size graded so they get large to small. So at the bottom of the tassel you'll have your large, and at the top of the tassel you'll have your small. So we get to that stage, and then I cut the two ends off nice and neat, and then we turn it upside down and we do a rosary link. So we pop in our pliers. I always tend to hold it in front of me up like so, and then we take the little twisted wire we've made and we do a simple little wrap all the way around. So at least once. Spend a bit more time on this when you get home, just to make sure it's nice and neat. And then we cut away any nasty edges that we've got. And then all I've done is, once I've graded them in size from large to small, is I've taken jump rings. Now in our findings pack we get 15 jump rings.
Right.
Okay. But we get 2 jump rings on each of our extender cord
70.
endings. That's okay.
Yep.
Remember, we had 3 of those.
Yep.
So that's 6 on top of the 15. That's
okay.
21.
So 21.
And then you get a jump ring on every one of your 3 toggles. So you actually get 24 jump rings in our kits, which I've discovered. So for doing long tassels like this, just use them all.
My first ever chainmail bracelet only used 44 jump rings.
Did it really?
Yeah. So
you're halfway there.
There you go, nearly there.
Then all I've done is I've opened the jump rings. I think I've used 15 on the tassel. So choose a piece of chain longer than you actually need, and start from the bottom link and just link it on. Grab some more pliers.
Look how quickly nearly 150 kits have
Well, are you
flown.
surprised, really?
Well, I suppose the price point is ridiculous. Yeah, you're right.
Okay, so that's the first one. And then all I've done is, again, starting from large at the bottom, getting smaller on the way up. So every link I've attached a little dangle using jump rings.
Gorgeous.
And you end up with that tassel. And then all I've done is use a bit of beading thread section in the middle for the middle section, and then finish it off with chain.
But it's nice to have a little bit of movement in your designs.
I mean, you could just have that as a focal point and use your entire metre of chain and have a diaphragm length lariat. I mean, that just look beautiful.
Very, very popular design that is, isn't it?
But I think adding the jump rings as well just gives it a bit more movement and a bit more noise when it jingles.
Yeah, absolutely. These
like
are the
that.
kind of little attentions to detail that do attract attention to the design, aren't they?
Right.
Fantastic. Well, as you can see, huge amount of interest in that kit. Please confirm your baskets, check out to avoid disappointment. Sorry if I sound like a broken record, but I hate for anybody to miss out. Tanya has texted, another regular contributor to the show, says, loving Mark's designs today, feeling inspired. That's what we aim for, isn't it?
Thank you, that's lovely.
Fantastic. That's what we're all about here at JewelleryMaker, providing you with inspirational designs and the best value on the market for genuine gemstones. Sheena, another regular viewer here at JewelleryMaker, has said, Mark, I keep breaking the skinny head pins when I twist them. Where am I going wrong? Please help. Love the show as always.
It does sound really silly, but don't cut the ball off until you've done it. I don't know what it does, but as soon as you cut the ball off, it seems to weaken. It's bizarre. It happens to me as well.
The integrity of the actual finding.
Yeah. So keep the ball on the end first of all, as you can see what I've done here, and you get to a point just as you're twisting. Here, just as you're starting to twist, when the bottom section actually starts, the twist starts to twist, then you stop.
Right.
Okay.
Top tip.
Top tip. So don't cut the ball off first, leave it on first of all until you've done it, and then just at the bottom where the twist starts to twist, that's when you stop. If you go any further, it may snap. So don't pull it too tight.
Well, hopefully that helps, Sheena. Eleanor, there you go, all the way in Barcelona, has texted. It's just for a global company. It says, ordered mine. The Chara bracelet looks beautiful, Mark. I love watching your designs, and I blame you for my obsession with macrame. That's an all right thing to be obsessed with, I think.
Yes, there's worse things to be addicted to.
Absolutely. Yes, Thank you very much for getting involved. If you've got anything you want to share, maybe you've got a question for Mark, maybe you've got a design idea that you'd like to share with our jewellery making community, then don't hesitate to text in 60777. Start your text with the phrase JM Studio. Alternatively, you can message in via JewelleryMaker.com. We've got very limited stock availability remaining now, 15 left in stock, but there's probably about 20 people who've got it in their basket. So, as I say, you've got to check out. Now, we are going to move over to the Wall of Fame and have a look what you've been creating. We're doing a little bit of technical work at the moment, and I should just make a quick public service announcement because tomorrow evening there'll be no late show. It is scheduled studio maintenance work, I'm afraid, and if you see all the gremlins that we have from time to time, I'm sure you'll probably agree that it's long overdue. So no show tomorrow at 5 PM, just so that we can get everything ship-shape for our future live broadcasts. And we're moving on now to the Wall of Fame. So I have got number 340. And this has been sent in by Sheena. It says, this week's effort for the Wall of Fame is a bracelet made for my friend using gorgeous amethyst silver spacer beads and a sterling silver clasp. Everything is from JM and I hope you like it. Well, that's coming from Sheena.
Incredible.
I'm afraid I don't like it, Sheena. I absolutely love it. Your number 340. It's kind of classic design, really.
That's exquisite, exquisite.
Absolutely beautiful.
Okay, next one I have is number 336. Oh, this is beautiful as well.
It's like the pearls that we launched earlier,
absolutely
isn't it?
stunning. And this is from Annette Conway. And Annette says, hi all, here is my entry for this week. Love your Sunday show when I have the house to myself and the TV. I like to make my jewellery and watch the fun and games on the show at the same time. My piece is made from all JewelleryMaker stock and the pearls are really large peach ones and the findings are all rose gold. I can't wait to wear it out this afternoon. Thank you again for all the fun, and that's from Annette. I'm just thinking with satin, with suede beads that we showed earlier, in between all the beads, that would just look beautiful. That is gorgeous.
Absolutely, and you could use the pink suede cord. It would look just sitting there beautifully.
That's ace.
Fantastic. Wow, this is.
See, I can see you wearing that.
Yeah, I was going to say this is quite simple.
It's
a
like
pretty unisex piece, really. 339 has been. It says, hi all, here's my entry to this week's Wall of Fame. A simple bracelet that I made for a craft fair. I can't remember what the stones are. They came in a kit from JM. Have a great week. And that comes from Sarah in Yorkshire. Actually, they do look quite interesting. They almost look like raspberry ripple effect.
It's like a jasper, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think it's a jasper because can't think of another gemstone when you'd get that kind of banding. So yeah, I think it's a jasper. It's absolutely gorgeous. As I say, simple but very, very effective. Number 339.
No, not only is this exquisite, but I love the way it's been photographed as well.
I was just thinking, I actually spotted it.
I photographed mine on the paving slabs in the garden now.
Nice.
That looks really nice. This is just beautiful.
It's just a little link with nature and it shows their real gemstones.
That's right. And this is from Una, one of our regular viewers. And Una says, hi all at JewelleryMaker, this is this week's entry. Love the cabochons that JewelleryMaker have been getting recently as they are fab to work with. This piece is amethyst and I've used JewelleryMaker's silver plated wire. I've also used the rough amethyst beads for the chain. I hope you'll like it. And that's lots of love from Una in Newcastle. I think it's exquisite. Well done.
And I agree with you, it's just the whole package there, isn't it? Because of the way it's been laid out. I've got number 338. Now this is a very high-end looking piece of jewellery. The kind of thing you'd expect to see in a boutique, I guess.
Beautiful.
Morning everyone at JM Towers. Please find attached my entry for this week's Wall of Fame. I made this in memory of a very special friend who sadly passed away. I used faceted clear quartz in place of diamond, which was her birthstone, and a beady bead made from green faceted quartz rounds, her favourite colour. I gave it to her daughter who loved it. Very nice sentiment. Huge thank you to the fabulous Laura Binding and JM for the wirework DVD. It's brilliant. I'm not an experienced wire worker and this is my first attempt. Wow, it took me 2 hours, so I think it's a good example of what a novice can do using one of your brilliant DVDs. More please, big hugs from Julie. Well, do you know what, that's, one of the most touching pieces of jewellery I've ever seen. There's some lovely sentiment attached to it, and this is the great thing about jewellery design, because if you can create your own designs, of course you can attach these very personal sentiments to the piece, which is, I think, far more touching than going to one of the high street jewellers. So it's really impressive. That's number 338. A lovely story attached to that particular piece of jewellery. So everybody who has sent in their entries will be included in the Wall of Fame prize draw, which will be drawn tomorrow morning on the live show. We're actually going to move back over to the main desk now because I'm going to launch a premiere strand of, and I'm really enthused by this. It has to be one of the most well-known gemstones on the market. As a result, I think it provides you with a little bit of credibility. We talked about this earlier in the show, and of course, if you do go to high street jewellers, you're going to see plenty of amethyst being used. Traditionally quite small carat weights. It might have a slightly different finish than you find from the faceted top drill drops here at JewelleryMaker, although not a great deal of difference in the finish, I have to say. Very consistent saturation of colour. Now sometimes we want the variations because, as we've discussed already, it provides you with design scope. But I think when you're working with a very traditional gemstone like amethyst, you might be looking for this intense purple tone that, I suppose, once again, is synonymous with the gemstone itself. Quite large carat weights on each gemstone here. They actually range in size from 7x6 to 14x9. It's probably the only other gemstone, other than the big 4 or the big 5, because I would include tanzanite in this. So the big 5 and amethyst, where it doesn't matter if it's somebody's birthstone or not. The prestige and the awareness of the gemstone so are always going to want to have these in their. Amethyst does fall into that group because it's been so heavily used. Of course, we've actually sourced amethyst for thousands of years, and it was known as the personal favourite gemstone of Catherine the Great. In fact, interesting fact is that she used to have amethyst coloured sails on all of her fleet of ships. Something I learnt recently. So yeah, that's quite interesting, isn't it? And I suppose, once again, it's the colour tone rather than the gemstone itself that seems to be the draw with amethyst. Well, the more traditional variety of amethyst, I think, actually forms in this colour tone. So when you're looking at the variations, such as your lavender amethyst or your green amethyst, it's actually a heating process that's created those variations in the colour. This is how it actually forms. If you see the natural geodes, you get this intensity from Mother Nature herself. Emily, very regular contributor. I see Emily texted into all of the shows from 9 AM right up until the late show finishes at 9 PM. And Emily says, wow, I love the cut. Talented person did this. My favourite cut, the disco cut, I call it. Hugely impressive facets that have been placed on the surface here. Triangular shaped facets, which do give you this incredible dispersion of light on the surface of the gemstone. Basically very traditional sparkle, isn't it, that you'd, I suppose, associate with top-end jewellery design traditionally. Look at that, fantastic. And I suppose when you are working with the faceted varieties of the gemstone, it does add value to the design. People can appreciate, just as Emily has, that these have gone through a very intense cutting and faceting process. This takes years and years of experience. In fact, speaking to Glenn Lehrer, who's a world-renowned lapidurist and one of the owner of the company, Steve's best mates, he works closely with Steve on a number of different projects. And if you speak to Glenn, he actually said to me, I could teach you how to cut any gemstone in 5 weeks, but it'd take you 5 years to master the art. So he could teach me how to facet an amethyst, but then it would be a completely different process to facet another gemstone. So, wow, you know, you have to go back to the drawing board again and learn it all over again. So when you've got lapidarists who are dealing with our gemstones, we use the same gemstone cutters that actually cut the gemstones to be set into our jewellery designs on Gems TV. So very, very experienced people. Our cutting facility is located in India and Jaipur, where I would say, you know, a huge percentage of the gemstone trading in the world actually takes place. So this is actually a culture in an area which is, you know, steeped experience within this industry, and it tends to be a sort of a family-led skill set. So you sort of go into the family industry, which could be lapidary work, gemstone cutting, and of course that means that you're actually learning from a very, very young age. Hugely agree with Emily, because they're really multi-buyers coming through on the phone lines on this. We haven't even brought the exclusive price point on screen. I'm pretty sure you can make your money back off just one gemstone here, because the exclusive launch price this morning is ridiculous. Is Pete in the building yet? $9.95. This comes from our Gems of Distinction range. Undeniably the highest possible quality of amethyst we can source for you here at JewelleryMaker. Very traditional colour tones there, that intense regal purple, faceted to perfection, to provide you with that attention to detail that you would associate with these top-end gemstones. And at $9.95, I mean, it's a no-brainer, I'd imagine. For most jewellery makers, you need to be adding this very traditional gemstone to your collection. I mean, that centre gemstone there, 14 by 9 mil in size, sterling silver chain, just that one gemstone. What are we talking about? 20, 25 pounds this design? So you can actually double your money using just one gemstone, or perhaps maybe choose the more delicate cuts from the other end of the strand. These are a 7 by 6 mil. That is a pair of earrings right there, and you really don't have to do a great deal of work. Head pin,
relay wrapping, as we showed earlier.
Yes. Then of course you're providing your customers with a more professional finish as well. I will actually count them just to see, because if you do like working with the top drill drops, it does offer you lots of different opportunities, I suppose. If you want to keep it simple and you want to create the matching set of jewellery where you have the droplet style earrings and the pendant, 3 gemstones, and you're going to potentially double your money. But maybe you like to expand your designs and you like to create those 5-petaled flowers. I mean, in amethyst, that's pretty impressive. I'll count the gemstones for you. You've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15 on this particular strand. I will say that's a slight estimation. It is based on carat weight, so you might get 14, you might get 16, but you're going to get roughly this number of gemstones for just £10. Again, huge number of people multi-buying. That's the way to do it here at JewelleryMaker, of course, because we only charge you 1 P&P per day. So you can add as many items to your order as you wish. You're only going to pay $2.95 to get them home. And when you're looking at amethyst of this quality, the kind of quality I would normally associate with being set into 9 carat gold, for £10. You can't go wrong, can you? Do you love this gemstone, Mark?
It's my birthstone.
Is it?
Yes. That's why I've got great affinity with it. And I think that's, I don't like using gemstones, but if you've got amethyst and pearls and garnet, maybe aquamarine on your stall,
I was going to say,
people see the main birthstones that they would know as a child, and tiger's eye and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And then they'll come up and they'll think, this chap knows what he's talking about, and then you can introduce the higher end gemstones, and that's when you start the whole dialogue with the customer. So
building rapport with your customers is key, isn't it? And also, not only that, but I was going to say, looking at it from the flip side, so looking at it from the customer's point of view, nice for them to be put at ease, maybe just for giving themselves a pat on the back because they've recognised the garnet or the amethyst, for example, and then of course they feel more comfortable talking about the gemstones because they feel like they are on your level. So quite interesting to work with amethyst, I think. We are down to double figures of availability. There is still some available, so if you're waiting on the phone lines or you've placed it in your basket, make sure you confirm your purchase. Moving on now though, because we're going to give you another wholesale deal on the nuggets. These for me are the quite fresh spring tones, I think.
Is that the
more
L
rhodochrosite,
word?
isn't it?
The L word in there.
And your chalcedony, and it's on the graphics. I was going to tease everybody there, but yeah, Larimar as well. Very, very rare gemstone, very exotic mineral to bring you this morning. 190 carats of Larimar. Very, very strong associations with top-end jewellery designs. It's actually because we traditionally find it in the Dominican Republic, in quite tropical locations. It tends to be snapped up quite quickly in those regions. In fact, I am reliably informed by lots of customers that you see a lot of Larimar on, you know, cruise liners. Huge industry for selling luxury jewellery on your cruise liners, and Larimar seems to feature quite heavily. People always tell me that they see it when they're abroad, Larimar, at these really high price points, and then it stays in their mind and they always want to own it. I mean, I never thought we'd bring Larimar here on JewelleryMaker. I just didn't think there'd ever be the opportunity. I
met a lady on a workshop recently. She bought 5 Larimar pendants because we found it difficult to get hold of big pieces.
The biggest carat weights.
So she bought the I think they were cabochons actually, but they were mounted in silver. And then she bought the gemstones from us to make them into full necklaces.
Absolutely
and full
fantastic.
jewellery.
I can tell you, if you were on a cruise liner, you'd be paying 3-figure sums for that Larimar jewellery. In fact, I have told this story on air before as well, but of course we get new buyers every day. And if you don't know who I am, my name's Ed. I've been working with the company for a long time. I used to be a producer on Gems TV, and I was actually fortunate enough to produce the first ever launch of Larimar here at the company. So when we launched our jewellery collection of Larimar on Gems TV, I produced that show, and it was a hugely promoted show, Sunday night, which tends to be one of our bigger audiences. And yeah, the show only lasted 45 minutes. You might not know that on our sister channel they use a completely different format. Of course, we use fixed price for all of our items, unless Dee's around, and but on Gems TV it's completely different. So we crash the price to provide you with competitive pricing, and so it's a falling price auction. And basically I didn't really get a chance to crash the price on many of the items. I still did crash the price. Everybody paid the intended price points, but yeah, I didn't even get a chance to crash the price on most of the items. Everyone just flew in, they knew about Larimar, they wanted to own it, and that was the end of that.
It was Adina presenting, wasn't it?
Sorry?
It was Adina presenting.
Yeah. You watched that show?
I remember it, yes. Actually.
Wow, you must be going back like 5 years, maybe longer. Okay, these are flying out the door, as all of our nugget bundles have. You've got your chalcedony, your rhodochrosite, and your Larimar here, and the price point, as ever, totally ridiculous. £4 per strand. What? Where's Pete when you need him? I wouldn't even expect to see this strand of Larimar at £9.95, let alone the fact that we've actually brought you 2 more very rare offerings. Rhodochrosite, we've already touched on how rare it is to bring you that gemstone here on JewelleryMaker. In fact, I think, you know, it's a gemstone we probably have had more success with in the past. As Mark was touching on earlier, we used to have rhodochrosite rounds, didn't we?
And flat pillows and squares.
Yes,
and
yeah, we did,
that's right.
Didn't we? The opportunity to bring you rhodochrosite is a little bit rarer. And also, you've got the look of your blue lace agate here, so it looks like such a high-end gemstone bundle here. Larimar, rhodochrosite, and your chalcedony, but for £10. It's absolutely ridiculous. We've actually created a queue on the free phone number of around about 1.5 minutes, so my apologies, but don't panic, it is a free phone number. You will be answered in the order in which you dial, and there is still plenty to go round, although I have to say, if you place it in your basket, I would just check out instantly. I mean, we've got buyers on the continent, in Greece, in Spain, we've got viewers in the States getting involved with this particular deal, as well as the length and breadth of the United Kingdom. Emily texts back to say, I love Larimar. I have had so many of my jewellery making crew, I've been fighting them off. I'm like, no, no, no. Oh, I see. Okay, so your sort of friends who also make jewellery are trying to pinch your Larimar. That's what's happening. But Emily says no when it comes to trying to pinch her Larimar. Okay, we've got about 30 people who've got this placed in your baskets you need to be checking out. And it looks to me like that could be another sellout deal this morning based on the queues we've created in our call centre. As I said, don't panic about that. We will be with you shortly, and it's probably worth the wait when you're getting these gorgeous pastel tones in very rare gemstones for less than £10. Absolutely ridiculous. Now, I have to make another public service announcement. Basically, I get a little bit overexcited when I get genuine gemstones in my hand, especially when I'm standing next to my good friend Mark Smith. And so, I've been babbling on this morning, falling in love with every item. We haven't got enough time to fit everything in unless we up the pace a little. So, I'm being told we are going to have to rattle through a few items. We're going to start with these beautiful purple side drilled cultured pearls, 8 by 7 mil in size. Again, gorgeous luxury because you're working with this organic mineral, but also beautiful femininity from the colour tone. Not quite, you know, that regal purple, a little more depth than a lavender tone. So again, perfect for bridal commissions. Actually, based on my my research, reading the bridal magazine in the office, this is the mother of the bride colour. That's what I've been. That's what the magazine says. I'm going with it. 8 by 7 mil. So again, you've got that slight elongation that provides you with the credibility that these are genuine cultured pearls. And of course, as we know, we're expecting to see increases across the market in this particular gemstone. Let's have a look at our exclusive launch price this morning for your purple cultured pearls, $11.95. And normally when I think of the potato pearls, you expect to see some slight inclusions or imperfections on the surface of the gemstone. Not with this strand. Gorgeous finish, very high-end look from your purple pearls. I have to say, we've got a huge number of new customers joining us this morning, so that's great. That's great to know that. Now, if you are one of the new buyers, I should just tell you everything you're going to get with your first order, because we're not just going to leave you stranded to work it all out for yourself. Oh, no, no, no. You're going to get your Get Started DVDs, and you'll also get your little booklet. So if you don't like using the digital format, or you can't work out your DVD player or whatever it is, then you can actually use your little booklet, because they're all in there as well. So we'll show you. You know, how to attach a clasp, how to knot elastic. As I say, all the fundamental techniques you'll need to get started. So you'll get both of those if it is your first purchase this morning, and lots of new buyers joining us. That's great to hear. $11.95. It's only going to be a matter of time before you're sitting in that room with Angela Edwards finding out how you can turn your hobby into a very profitable business, I bet. Lots of people multi-buying this strand once again. Perfect for a number of different genres of jewellery making. Just associated with bridal commissions, because of course pearls are perfect for evening wear as well as your everyday pieces. Now, I've just been asked a very interesting question in my ear by producer Dion. Is it in reference to this pearl? Is it in reference to something else? Okay. Oh, sorry. I just realised, I just put these next to one another and realised that I totally missed a trick. Look at that, Matt. The centre amethyst on the pearls.
Perfect.
Is that gorgeous?
That's a job done.
Job done, like it. That's really sellable as well, because pearls and amethyst can't go wrong. You're not really having to explain a gemstone to anybody there, are they? Because most people are going to be aware of pearls and amethyst. Fantastic. If you did want to add the amethyst to your order, the details are right below me on screen right now. We are going to move on. Now, the question that producer Dee asked me in my ear, or she asked everybody actually, she said, is anybody up for an under £10 deal? I am, Dee. Definitely. Okay, let's do it. She says let's do it. Well, you can't do 11. I was going to say, you can't do that for under £10, surely. This is going under £10. How many of them have you got in stock? Double figures. Start dialing now. You're definitely going to want it. Wow.
Amazing colour combo.
That's right up your street, isn't it?
Yeah.
Neon apatite, green amethyst, and beautiful rich red garnets. Unfortunately, we only have double figures of availability. You've seen every single one of our kits. We've sold over 100. All of the nugget bundles have been flying out the door. I think under £10, when Mark's telling us that using the memory wire you can create 2 bracelet designs out of each strand.
That's right.
What? She's saying under £10 and £9.95 doesn't count, she's saying. £9.95 is £10 in Dee's mind. She'll go under £9.95 for this bundle. Not really, if I'm honest. Producer D said, are you ready? I don't want to look at the price. They're saying, look at what she's just done. Okay. I'm with Mark on this one. I'm not even going to reference that price. Let's just get it off screen ASAP. I can't believe you just did that. It's totally ridiculous. We're not trying to devalue gemstones, but we are trying to make them as accessible as possible. And oh, is that what it is? Oh, they're blaming me. They're saying, well, you're the one who's left us with no time, so we have to go lower now. I've done you a solid there, jewellery makers, haven't I? Wow, look at this. Another double trouble deal. This time rhodolite garnet, quite a traditional variety of garnet, and you've got that traditional sort of red wine hue. It's interesting because on the face of it, it does have that depth, and you can see that rich, almost jet black like tone. But when you do get to appreciate this gemstone at home, maybe you use Mark's trick and hang them on your washing line, so you can get the sun to pass through all the gemstones. I think that's a great suggestion. You will be able to experience that sort of almost like a strawberry jam like hue when the light passes. So I think it's coming through there. There you go. Gorgeous. Now we've created a double trouble deal here. So that means we've taken 2 strands, bundled them together to create a unique discount code. This will only be available until 9 AM tomorrow morning. And once again, we've focused on the organic cuts. These are your irregular nuggets in rhodolite garnet, of course, January's birthstone, but it's another one of those gemstones, much like Amethyst, that I think attracts attention because people are aware of this gemstone. They understand that garnet is very well known, revered, but also I think this is the colour tone that most people associate with the gemstone as well. So, you know, it might be a little bit more of an uphill battle to try and explain the value of a rarer garnet such as a Zavarite garnet or a Spessartite garnet, but when you're dealing with rhodolite garnet and you've got those rich red wine hues, I think that's the colour tone people associate with January's birthstone. And huge number of gemstones on both strands. They're like skipping ropes. for both. Okay. They're taking the mickey out of me now. They're saying, oh yeah, you're giving everybody all the info on garnet, but there's only one thing they care about. £8.95 for 2 strands of it.
If they're having to rush because we've been gassing too much, do you think that'll never be us working together again?
I don't think the customers are going to like that, Mark, because when we do it, they get these kind of prices, so that should save our bacon.
Okay.
That's unbelievable. Actually, how about setting these on your memory wire with pearls, Mark?
That'd be beautiful,
work, wouldn't it?
Absolutely beautiful. And remember, you've got those little glass little spaces as well in between.
Ah, yes. Now, one thing I'll say is don't try and crimp these because they shatter. So yes, they're little. They are actually glass, aren't they?
They are glass.
Yeah,
yes,
so they're little glass spaces. But you could use them in designs, can't you?
Absolutely.
Because the tube-like structure actually holds form. So
anyone who does oh, I've forgotten the name of it, but the tiny little seed bead tubey designs.
I know
with
the
a
one
P,
you
I
mean.
can never remember it. They use these, and they're called bugle beads.
It was right on the edge of my tongue then. Is it peyote?
Yes, peyote. Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Well, that type of bead, it's called a bugle bead, and it's used in peyote stitch. So you can use it for your small designs. Yeah. So don't throw
it's
them
opening
away.
up even more opportunities, and this is something that could potentially be seen as sort of the disposable part of the strand, if you like, but you never throw anything away. the key lesson that I learned on day 1 here on JewelleryMaker. Crafters don't throw anything away, it always has a use. These are flying out the door, as you can see, 2 huge strands of garnet for just $95. This is how we flex our value muscles here at JewelleryMaker and show that we offer you the most competitive pricing on the market. For 2 strands of January's birthstone, they're gorgeous garnet. And once again, if you've placed it in your basket, please check out. We are going to move on. Actually, this would go brilliantly with the garnet, I think, this next bundle. Just to make everybody aware, as we approach the final half an hour of the show, we do have another premiere launch before we close the show at 1 PM.
Oh my word.
That is fantastic apatite. Possibly some of the highest quality apatite we've ever been able to source for you.
One of my favourite cuts. I call it the dumpy onion, which isn't very romantic, but it sums it up what it is.
It does. Yeah. It's a slightly broader,
yeah,
sort of squashed briolet, isn't it? Yeah. It's for me, it's the colour tone. Such a tropical blue there. Oh, that's phenomenal. Wow. It will be launched in the next 30 minutes because that's all we have left. Before that, I've actually got, I'll pick this up and I've already got a poem in my mind. Is that strange? All I can think is tiger, tiger, burning bright. It just has those colour tones. Actually, for your autumnal designs, guys. You'd be disappointed if I didn't do it now, wouldn't you? Now these again are the organic nuggets here, and a fantastic combination of colours, so complementary to one another. You've got almost like a sort of winter sun tone from the lemon quartz here. It's quite a subtle hue rather than the zestier colour tones that we sometimes see in lemon quartz. This is a little more subtle. Almost like a sort of golden glow, shall we say. 160 carats, and again you've got the irregular nuggets here. They range in size from 8x6 to 15x8. Matched up perfectly with the earthier, richer golden tones, as well as the chocolate browns that you get in there on your golden tiger's eye. 150 carats there, ranging in size, slightly smaller there, from 6x3 to 10x6. And then I think this actually brings it all together. This sort of almost intense tangerine tone that you get from your carnelian always makes me think of lava, actually, when I see the intensity of carnelian. 165 carats in your carnelian, and those range from 7x6 to 11x7. I can think of one of our expert designers who would love this combination of colours. Are we thinking of the same person?
DB.
That's it. Debbie Belford would love this combination. Actually, it works really well with the polymer clay tones, that the blends that she creates on her designer inspiration show. It works brilliantly with those. They're already flying out the door. Lemon quartz, golden tiger's eye, and carnelian. Oh, I see. It's like they're ganging up on me in there now because they know the prices. All right, all right. I like being surprised by your pricing. I don't need to know in advance, okay? Oh!
Oh my word.
Ollie didn't realise it was as low as that. He was showing off thinking that it was $9.95.
Gosh.
Wow.
For tasseled strands.
We are going above and beyond this morning, aren't we? You're right, actually, Mark, because you make a great reference there. When you see these strands that are tasseled at the end, they tend to have been sourced by our Indian buying office, so they represent some of the highest quality we can source for you. I realise here that we've got the organic cut nuggets, but you still have to source, you know, high quality in the gemstones, and to get 3 of these for $7.95, seriously impressive. Once again, huge strands of the gemstones as well, so well over, it's got to be well over 30 centimetres on all those strands.
All I'm thinking of is mixing that apatite we've got coming up with the orange.
Yes, I love that combination.
Oh, that's just the best.
You like that?
Yeah.
Falling in love with that?
Yeah, I think that's amazing.
And you've got that juxtaposition again between the very irregular organic cuts and the more more uniform faceted cuts.
Beautiful.
Oh, that's a gorgeous combination. Amazing. I can't believe the value. In fact, we were talking about this last week, and during the war, when I used to be the sales manager of the show, and when we first launched our 3-strand packs, because when we first started, we only used to offer you single strands. So it's quite a big decision for everyone to make each day about what their favourite gemstone strand was on the show. So we introduced the sort of bundle concept via our 3-strand packs, and they used to be launched at $9.95. We were I would say we were a much smaller company then, because of the expansion we've experienced over the last 2 or 3 years, and we actually had much less capacity on our phone line, so we could only really handle about 100 calls at a time in our call centre. And so honestly, the amount of trouble I used to get in from the call centre manager and the managers of Gems TV, because I was clogging at the call centre, was ridiculous. Everyone just storming up to my desk to tell me off. And that was for 3 strands of gemstones for $9.95. That was the best value we'd ever offered you. Traditionally, we were looking at sort of agates and jaspers as well. Now, we are looking at top quality gemstones, carnelian, tiger's eye, lemon quartz, and we can actually bring you probably larger carat weights, but for $7.95. This is one of the reasons why I suppose you find the a lot of the presenters on JewelleryMaker are often taken aback by the price points, and it's because we come from a background on Gems TV, so we're more, used to bringing you, say, 3 or 4 carats for 3-figure sums. So when we see this huge array of gemstones for $7.95,
we had Hannah on the show yesterday afternoon from Rocks, and I was watching a bit of the show, and she just couldn't believe the prices that we were. There was a strand of morganite that we had in the show, and she just couldn't believe. I know,
I actually saw that. I was standing right there where the bin is when she was saying, on our sister channel, there's no way I could go anywhere near this price point.
Amazing.
As I say, there is a slight difference to the finish on the gemstone, but you're still working with the real deal.
That's right.
And actually, you're able to offer your customers probably larger carat weights than you'll find elsewhere, and still make the designs much more affordable than you'd find on the high street. Love this combination. It's just got autumn or fall written all over it for me. It's not just from the sort of the colour tones that you'll find. Approach winter, the sun's a bit lower in the sky, and it has that sort of glow about it. I think that's quite nice.
I do as well. No, I look forward to it.
Yeah,
I'm not a summer person at all.
Sunday afternoons in autumn.
You'll be able to do lovely walks with the dog, won't you? That's going to be amazing.
I know, I've already had to buy 2 pairs of wellies for members of my family. We've had a text message, Emily, getting involved as ever, and it says, that's just autumn in your hands. I get shocked every day with the prices. There you go, Emily, nicely and succinctly summing up everything I've said about this bundle. Thank you, Emily. We're going to move on because we do have a lot to fit in before the end of the show, and we are now very privileged to bring you the exclusive launch of this faceted strand of apatite. Now, this has been classified as Sky Blue Apatite, but for me, there's a much stronger colour tone here. It's almost, I don't think Mark likes this description, but it's more like a swimming pool blue. Is that?
No, that's good.
Is that okay? Yeah,
I like that.
Doesn't sound particularly romantic, that's what I worry, but tone, isn't it, than a sky blue? You expect more.
The ocean around the Maldives would be slightly better.
Oh, that's it. That's it. Nailed it. And actually you do get very slight variations in the colour tone as well, so you've got those sort of seafoam greens coming through as well. Fantastic array of colour tones. Oh, I wasn't thinking of a swimming pool in the West Midlands. I was thinking of a swimming pool in a beautiful complex in a tropical location, but you're right. The Maldives Ocean, or the ocean surrounding the Maldives, is definitely more romantic. I'll use that from now on. 60 carats in total, and of course you have got a far greater level of, I think, elegance with these particular drops, because they are a little broader. They are a little bit more, I can't think of the word, they're almost like little condensed versions of the traditional pear drops, aren't they?
Dumpy onions.
actually, this is bang on the money from Kim. She says, Ed, it looks like Paraiba tourmaline. It absolutely does.
There we go.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's exactly the colour tone that we're looking for here. And I'm actually well versed in Paraiba tourmaline, because when I was a producer on Gems TV was probably the last time that we found a huge deposit of Paraiba tourmaline, and we were fortunate enough to get a lot of it here on Gems TV, and we would have whole showcase hours dedicated to this gemstone. In fact, director Ollie used to be a producer on the channel as well. He's telling me the most expensive piece he ever sold on Gems TV was a Paraiba tourmaline piece. There you go.
Wow.
It's one of the most sought after gemstones on the planet. Certainly the most elusive variety of tourmaline, and it does gain very, very high sums. Even on Gems TV, was that a 4-figure sum, Ollie? Yes, so even on Gems TV, who do tend to offer you the most competitive prices, I have actually seen 5-figure sums for Paraiba tourmaline jewellery, because we used to do a lot more comparisons on the channel. Now it's pretty difficult for us to do that because there's nobody to compare our prices to. They're so competitive, but we used to do much more comparisons, and I have done a lot of research into Paraiba tourmaline. Yeah, as I say, 5-figure sums some people will charge you, and they don't just set it into 9-carat gold or 18-carat gold, platinum. You'll often find Paraiba tourmaline being set into platinum. Now this is actually an example of apatite, just in case anybody's just tuning in and they're confused, but the colour tone is absolutely associated with the most sought after variety of tourmaline, that Paraiba tourmaline, which only actually comes from one location. I haven't seen Paraiba tourmaline for years and years now, so I wonder if we're maybe struggling to find deposits of that, or certainly high enough yields for us to base collections around, because we certainly used to have much more Paraiba tourmaline than we ever do now. In fact, I think that we might have used up the resource in South America, and so the newer varieties of Paraiba tourmaline were actually coming from areas in Western Africa, like Mozambique, where they consider the tectonic plates to have broken up, and so you get the same minerals in 2 different locations on the earth, but when they tested it, identical to the Paraiba tourmaline from South America. So I think maybe we might have actually used up all of the resource. Don't quote me on that, because obviously I haven't been involved in that side of the industry for a few years, but certainly very difficult to source Paraiba tourmaline. These are flown out the door, and as ever, I don't know the exclusive launch price, but everybody on the web can already see it, and they are checking out left, right, so we haven't got too many people. No wonder. Less than 50p a carat. Some of the highest quality apatite we've ever seen here on JewelleryMaker. In fact, a gemstone that we're now comparing to Paraiba tourmaline. I never thought we'd see the day where we'd be comparing any of our gemstones to that here on JewelleryMaker. And we've had a text message, is that correct? It's come through from Michelle. It says Paraiba in all locations, i.e. Brazil and Mozambique, are completely mined out, Ed. There you go. Michelle obviously has time to actually sit down and watch Gems TV, and or maybe Michelle's just a gemologist and she knows these things. So there you go. That's kind of what I was getting at. Yeah, I don't think we can get hold of Paraiba tourmaline anymore. You never know if we'll find another deposit, but I haven't seen any for years, and Michelle is putting all that into context for us. So thank you very much for getting involved this morning. If you have placed this in your basket, you need to be checking out all figures of availability. Quantity bar just catching up with us there. I think we might have fewer than 50 if everybody was to check out their baskets, but actually congratulations to everybody. Nobody's dilly-dallying on this one. Everyone is checking out their baskets, so well done. $27.95, absolutely fantastic quality. And Mark's already telling me, I think that you've fallen in love with this, haven't you? And it's...
I've ordered 2.
Oh, you've just ordered 2?
Yeah.
Ah, so he's been doing his secret buying signal.
This could be for Macrame rings and bracelets with wire.
Oh, yes.
Rose gold wire. Copper.
So that broader cut allows the gemstone to sit proud in your Macrame rings. Yeah. That is fantastic, and that means that you can really maximise on the profitability as well. Yeah. How much would a Paraiba a Sky Blue Apatite ring fetch?
£10?
£10? And actually, this is a little happy accident for me, but the little spacer beads have stuck there.
Yeah.
They're great accents, aren't they?
Absolutely. So that's how it would look on the ring. I think it would be beautiful.
So if it's £10 a ring, shall I be indulgent and find out how much money we can make? 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 20, 40, 60, 80, 200, 20, 40, 60, 80, 300, 20, 40, 60, 80, £400 potentially of that one strand. And there you go, Emily, the jewel of Maldives it is. Boom! Whenever I was crashing the prices, because you hit button, the price, that's what I'm saying, right, we're going to the lowest ever. Boom! In the gallery, right in Lucy's ear, just to wake her up.
You haven't said shopportunity today.
You know.
Oh, still time.
Yeah, there's plenty of time. Don't worry, I've got another 4 hours of Live TV to bring you. 5 till 9, make sure you're tuned in. Now you've got your baskets up and running, 1 P&P per day. And of course, here on The Late Show, we try to find add it to your order prices. So if you have been enamoured by one of the kits this morning or one of the premiere launches, then I'm going to find you an add it to your order price between 5 PM and 9 PM. We've got another new bundle to bring you. Ah, yes. Now this is in honour of Mark, absolutely. Have we bundled them, or is it 2 separate opportunities? Oh, here we go. We've bundled Macrame, the bridal Macrame, sorry, DVD, which is edition 1, and the Macrame projects together. So actually, do you mind if I just turn around and we can show everybody the projects they can learn? Oh, there's the bridal jewellery. It's no undeniable, isn't it? Fantastic. Oh, I love those. And actually, things like hair combs and tiaras and fascinators do sell really well at craft fairs.
Well, I'm not inept enough with bridal macrame, with bridal tiara twist. I'm in no league at all that Sheila and Linda are in. So this is a way of being able to do bridal pieces, but with macrame. So all of the pieces that you see on here, they're actually pieces of separate macrame that we then attach.
You attach to a hair comb
or a hairband.
Luxury look. So we can take you through the projects. If you look at the bridal macrame edition 1, you've got your introduction, so that'll just take you through the fundamentals. Daisy chain hair combs, graduated herringbone earrings, scalloped beaded technique.
That's using satin cords.
Nice. Okay.
So something a bit softer for bridesmaids and mother of the bride.
So really, almost really like nice. A lace style design. So that's fantastic. The triple row beaded bracelet. That's quite a popular look, isn't it? I see them on the Wall of Fame. Yeah. And Cavendorley technique, can I pronounce that correctly? Yeah,
which is it's a really nice bracelet that on the DVD we mentioned that if you incorporate elastic with it, you can turn them into garter belts. Something a bit different.
That's good. Yeah. Well, people need something borrowed or something blue, and that'd be a great way to do it, wouldn't it? Yeah. And then I'll take you through the macrame projects on the alternative DVD. You've got about 60 minutes on both of these of, well, Mark Smith in your living room teaching you macrame. Can't be bad, can it? And here you've got, again, the introduction that basically takes you through all of the projects and the fundamentals. Then you've got a little more generic, these names, so the pieces are going to be fantastic when you finish, as always, but this is the distinctive luxury, rings of Saturn, disco diva, decorative nouveau, and Cavendurley knotting.
Yeah, we also, on the first little section after the introduction, it's showing you how to use your strands of distinction that have the tiny little holes.
Very small drill holes.
So we show you how to use wire incorporating in that, and we also show you how to wrap cabochons using a macrame technique in the project's DVD as well.
Now that is very useful, isn't it? Because I often neglect the macrame. Actually, when we talk about cabochons, we think of wire work and soutache, but actually macrame is fantastic because they're almost caged, aren't they?
That's right. Yeah, so we learn how to do that on the project's DVD.
Okay, we haven't got much time left on the show, so we have to bring the price on screen. This is proving to be very, very popular, well, of course. At $4.95, I think these DVDs offer you, well, ridiculous value, but when you're able to get them at this kind of price, but that's, what, £3.50 each? It's just bonkers, isn't it? $6.95. So normally they're $4.95 each, but of course the other saving you make here is that you're only going to pay 1 P&P per day. So it's a great add it to your order item. I always think of the DVDs again, as fantastic gifts for a jewellery maker,
Absolutely,
because you know, you might not know what gauge or wire they use or what gemstones they love, but if you, every time you walk in the living room, jewellery makers on the screen, you know that they love our designers. So by adding the DVDs to your order, in fact, you know, I think I've mentioned it enough times now to say, great stocking fillers. Get them in your present drawer.
That's right, yeah.
This is good because this is a slightly more diverse crew on the morning show. Everyone's not taking the mick out of me for saying present drawer. I worked with a bunch of young lads on the Late Show, and they were like, we don't know what you're talking about. What is a present drawer? We haven't got a present drawer. I said, you just wait.
I've got a present drawer.
Yeah, of course. Well, the thing is, when your daughter comes home from school and says, oh, I've got, sorry, I've had this party invitation in my bag for 3 weeks, and I've got to be at this location at 12 PM tomorrow, you're like, why didn't you tell me? What am I going to do? But if you've got a little selection of presents,
right.
you're all sorted. See? I've become quite an organised man working on JewelleryMaker. I've learnt from all the crafters out there, you see. A brilliant add it to your order price point this morning.
Wow.
Oh my goodness. This is just rubbing salt in the wounds now. Not only do I not get to do the show, but I have to have it rubbed in my face. Look at how fantastic these wire handbags are. That is exquisite. Oh. Do you know what, actually, it's putting in my mind? You know the jewel enamel vase that Liz Welsh created? It's a similar texture and look, isn't it? But obviously this is wire. I mean, wire workers, be alert. The Designer Inspiration Show starts in about 10 minutes time with Alison, and you will be joined by the gorgeous Ali as well. So I imagine she's going to be getting very excited about these designs. Look at that, that's fantastic, isn't it? A reversible design. That's like a clutch bag, isn't it, for sort of high-end events or glamorous evening do. You just
How do you know about
my
clutch
metrosexuality. I told you I'm a fashionista these days. I read a lot of magazines to get ideas for all of our jewellery makers. Oh. You can't believe it when I come out with these things these days, can you, Mark?
No, not at all.
It's my job. Okay, we're moving on. We want to fit in a few more deals before we bring the show to a close. Are these the early bird? Yes, so we're recapping the early bird. We still have some stock availability. Perfect for, well, maybe your bridal commissions, if we're talking about bridal macrame designs. If you've just invested in this, all right, sunshine, you'll get your time in 9 minutes. Hey. So if you are somebody investing in the bridal DVD, then this might be the perfect mineral for you to add to your order. We did provide you with an exclusive launch price this morning on your peach pearls. I actually describe these as having more of a sort of champagne tone once the light catches the pearl essence, but at £10 you just can't go wrong. Actually, I was thinking I would probably use these with hair cones. That's what I was suggesting first thing this morning. So if that is something that interests you, then this could be the perfect addition to your order. Again, I would probably describe this as an add it to your order price. When you think about what you're getting here, genuine cultured pearls, of course, we know that it's going to become a little more difficult to source cultured pearls moving forward due to different sanctions that are being placed on the industry, which actually have led to a 40% decrease in the production of cultured pearls. You know what it's like in our industry, in the jewellery world. The second something becomes a little harder to come by, and that rarity tends to increase the actual price points that you have to pay for the gemstone, and of course in turn that makes them more sought after, so they become rarer. Seems to be a bit of a, you know, a circular effect that you get within our industry. So I would definitely stock up on the cultured pearls whenever you get the chance. And this morning we are launching these beautiful peach golden keshi pearls for just $9.95. We've got to move on. We've got some more deals to fit in. Okay, and it's another essential findings deal. It's fantastic. And this time we have got your rose gold plated. Is it sterling silver? Wow, high end on top of high end. Rose gold plated sterling silver lobster claw clasps here. Normally you get 10 pieces. We've created a double deal so that we can offer you a discount price point, a wholesale opportunity. So you're going to get 20 of your lobster claw clasps here. Again, quite a traditional fastening. So again, I think it will provide your designs with credibility if you are using these traditional findings. Of course, I know why rose gold is so popular, and it's to do again with different creative opportunities. They're very, very versatile. So you can either use them to provide your designs with warmth, maybe as we move into the winter season, or of course, they do, for me, suit quite vintage style designs as well. I always associate rose gold with sort of, you know, Victorian inspired pieces, more vintage looks as well. So a double trouble deal here. They're 8x3mm in size, and you get 20 as part of this particular discount bundle. I would start dialing the free phone number right now because it's another add it to your order price for an essential item. $9.90. Rose gold plated sterling silver clasp. That's 50p a clasp. And you know, when you are working with precious metals, again, I would say it does add value instantly to the piece. You know, you don't have to work as hard to justify the price point because, you know, people are more in tune with the fact that gold and silver are luxury items, whereas some of the more maybe obtuse or less well-known gemstones might be a harder sell. Rose gold plated silver is instantly going to help to justify your price points. And as we touched on earlier, again, we're expecting to see rises in the price of gold. We haven't found a new deposit of gold for over 2 years now, and so we don't know really where there is left to look other than maybe protected areas like the North Pole, the South Pole. But if you're going to try mining for raw materials in those regions, it is going to be a very expensive task. So even if we were fortunate enough to say to find a deposit of gold at the South Pole, you could probably expect to still see rises in the price because it's going to be quite a large job to start taking diggers down to the South Pole. So in fact, they might not even let you. They might just say no, because they are protected regions, aren't they? They might just say no, we're not going to let you dig up the South Pole. You're barking at the wrong tree here, mate. Now, just to expand on that a little, some experts within the industry actually estimate that even if we took all of the available gold in the world, we'd only fill an Olympic swimming pool. Some people saying it's more like half an Olympic swimming pool we'd fill. So you can see that it is becoming a little bit difficult to source, but we still have opportunities here at JewelleryMaker. Rose gold plated sterling silver clasp, and it's available right now for £10. We're going to give you one final shop-opportunity of the morning or rather the afternoon. That was just for Mark. And I have to say, perfect with a lot of the selections that we've brought you this morning. I'm thinking in particular this bundle, which was very, very popular. I mean,
I've mixed it with a Larimar from that chip bundle we had.
Ooh, that's a good, a popular combination as well, sort of coppers and browns with the turquoise tones. So yeah, that's really just, and then you've got that contrast as well between the organic and the high polished finish. So rather than a faceted gemstone here, you're still getting a very high-end look because of the polishing technique that's been used, and it allows the clarity of the smoky quartz to come to the forefront of your design. 40 carats in total. Again, top drill drops are very easy to work with, particularly if you're creating your matching sets or your traditional motifs. And they range in size from 7x6 to 12x9. We are going to offer you an exclusive launch price this morning. And of course, the other reason that these are so popular with a lot of jewellery designers is that they tend to tone down some of the more dramatic looks. I hear a lot of people suggesting using smoky quartz instead of a jet black gemstone for a monochrome design, and it makes more of a softer, everyday look rather than that dramatic tone. Let's get that price on screen then. It's another add it to your order price point this morning of just $7.95 for 40 carats of smoky quartz. And the reason I love this particular strand is that you have got variations in the colour saturation. So on some you've got a slightly paler hue, on others you've got that rich chocolate brown. So again, all about design opportunities, and this is definitely offering you that versatility. Just $7.95 this morning for 40 carats of smoky quartz. I'm going to go over now and see what Mark has created on his challenge. Okay, just so I know, I see the flowers. I will show you them quickly just so the designs make sense. This has actually been a sellout deal, unfortunately. It was a double trouble deal on very detailed flower shells, and I love the colour tone as well. I mean, with the pyrite actually. It just looks...
Like I said, I think this was the most unchallenging challenge I think I've ever had.
I can see that.
Thank you, Dion.
There you go. Yes, so the flowers have in fact been a sellout, I'm afraid, but we did give you 3 for 2 on some very exciting strands of pyrite. You actually get over 1 metre of pyrite as part of this 3 for 2 deal. Gorgeous colour tones. Sort of dusky lavender, dusky pink, and sort of greenish gold.
Beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah,
Absolutely
it's fantastic. I love the combination. So normally this would be over £20 this morning, 3 strands for $13.90. You can see the fantastic effect that Mark was able to create working with these. I mean, that's just 2 strands of the pyrite kumihimo, isn't it?
Absolutely, using purple beading thread.
It's fantastic, and the rose gold as well sets it off beautifully. You can see that. Oh, I love this, the green and the purple.
It's very, very simple, but I think it looks stunning.
Fantastic. So if you did manage to get hold of those shell flowers, then that's a little bit of inspiration for you. And if you do want to take advantage of the incredible value that we offer you here at JewelleryMaker, this is a fantastic deal. 3 for the price of 2 on these rather large strands of pyrite in these rather gorgeous colours. So you just can't get wrong, ticking every box. I'd have to leave that one with you, I'm afraid, and bring the show to a close. Just enough time to thank Mark for joining me. Incredible designs and very inspirational insights, as always. Thanks to all the crew, especially Cassie, because she made me 2 cups of coffee, and I'm going to need that because I am back on your screens at 5 PM this evening with The Late Show. Right now, we have got a rather inspirational designer show, I have to say. That is the aim of the mid-show, but today we are joined by Alison, who will now be bringing us her handbag design. I should think so, Alison.
And I did them just for you.
I know you. You did them just for me, in my colours.
Well, Alison!
You got yourself in hot water with Penelope Pitstop over here. Okay, we're going to leave that one there. I'll be back at 5 PM. Stay tuned right now for Ali and Alison.
The fastest way to shop with JewelleryMaker is by going to our website. Just click on the sign up button. Once you've filled in the required details, you can start shopping. You can watch the show by clicking the